Hello, welcome people to Tyrex Lounge. This is Mr. Tyrex.
It'd be the cool Cole here, and not the cosmonaut that reeks of desperation, I guess.
And
I tried to think of a punchline.
I see. And I'm Grant Harper, aka the emotional guy. I'm a musician and a filmmaker, and I love the prequels. And fuck Cosmonaut Variety Hour.
Ashley will not be will join probably in the middle of the session. We'll just have her come in.
Yeah, but really, she's not as knowledgeable of this stuff as we are, though. So she's just more of the spectator, I'd say.
I'm a casual, so.
Well, I mean, I consider
I'm
myself
bound to make
slightly
mistakes,
casual, but
so.
All right, so
I digress. Sorry.
So, do you want to start this thing?
Mine as well. All right, we ain't got no time to lose.
I guess.
So yes.
Let's watch his take on the prequels. So, in 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Kill me.
God help me.
Star Wars The Phantom Menace was the most disappointing thing since my son.
There we go. There we go.
Yep.
That sentence right there proves that he sucks Mike Stocklissa's dick.
I must say this. Cosmonaut Variety Hour is probably the most disappointing thing since anyone's son who turned out to be a criminal. But yeah, nevertheless, that's something that you don't do in okay, this is something that you don't do when you're reviewing a movie, all right? You shout out to someone who reviewed it and say that they did it better. Then that just, first of all, that just means that you're going by what they say and not by what you say. And second, what's the point of you doing it if you're just going to say stupid shit like that?
Regurgitation. It's called regurgitation.
Congratulations! The first 4 seconds, you proved to be the world's fastest dick sucker.
Mr.
Right.
Plinkett, Star Wars The Phantom Menace review is the most stupidest thing I've ever watched since my son's son, who won 2 Oscars for Best Original Score and Original Song for Titanic. Guess who it is. Anyway.
Yes, before I start this breakdown, I have to address the big red letter in the room.
No, you really
No, you
don't.
don't.
No, you don't. You really don't, dude. It's like, okay, then this sums up your prequels video, then.
Yes, you just regurgitating red letter media and just
What's the point of this
stupid shit?
What's the point of this review then if you're gonna regurgitate from them?
Dude, Cosmonaut, you grew up with the prequels. You like the prequels. Why are you soy-boying red letter media? It makes no freaking sense. Don't be Chris Stuckman. Chris Stuckman, born in 1988, mind you, grew up with liking the prequels, and now has to be brainwashed into it. And look where he is now.
And Jeremy Johns got out of that brainwash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he felt like the minority that did. And essentially, yeah, everything right about this just sums up everything that was wrong with the prequel hate, but even before the Disney buyout. It was because, like, even before Red Letter Media made that video.
We got people accusing Lucas of creating this. Oh, you create Jar Jar with just stereotype as Jamaican. No, Jar Jar was inspired by Goofy and fucking Scarecrow Wizard of Oz. No. It's based on the Jamaican stereotype, and it's offensive.
Yeah, it's just started the downfall of Star Wars.
Not to mention the internet. The mainstream media's access to the internet. Oh God, they went to this website and took that as gospel. Like what the heck?
If only I could go back in time and just slap myself and realize this is bullshit.
Yes, this is.
Well, Mr. Plinkett reviews by Red Letter Media are probably the best analysis of the Star Wars prequels on the internet, and unfortunately for me, they are incredibly in-depth.
No, they're not.
As
They
if.
are
No, they're
cinematic.
not.
Should be like stoic. They describe me Qui-Gon. That's the best argument you can come up with. Stoic. He's more than stoic. He's rebellious against the Republic and the Jedi Orders, like moral codes for good reason.
We'll get to that.
These movies have been around for a while, and there's almost nothing I can say that hasn't already been said by someone.
Then this sums up your
Well,
video,
then don't make
dude.
the video.
It
Then
sums
you've
it up
already
in like
failed at
25
critiquing- sorry.
seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sorry, Cosmonaut. Then you've already failed at making a critique video. All right.
Why 45 minutes if you just grasping at straws and trying to nitpick every single thing while regurgitating from that fat failed filmmaker who can't even lift. He couldn't even lift a leg for his leg day. I'm trying to lose weight. Enough
same here.
Work.
I am getting a little bit fatter than I should, I'll admit. But what pisses me off the most, what pisses me off the most about this, honestly, though, is that these people always like take these like straw man arguments, but they also say like similar things about the Disney trilogy, but then they praise it that way. Well, we'll get. to that,
this is better than the prequel.
Yeah. It's just like, this ruins Star Wars. Oh, this isn't how Star Wars should be.
It was made by George.
Also, foreshadow of what it should be.
Yep, we'll get to that too.
Yeah, we'll get to it eventually.
I love it. Is everything I hope it will be.
We're gonna pull up Anomaly eventually at some point. But
okay, shout out to him actually, but
hey,
let's go.
But you guys have been demanding that I review these movies for years now, and I do have a lot to say. So I'm just going to go in with a clear mind and put the good old Cosmonaut spin on things. Because I do not like these movies.
That's perfectly fine, but
it's clear to us that you grew up liking the prequels. Just like Chris Stuckman.
And Dumbsville.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God.
And the Word of Wolf too. And Ralph the Movie Maker. Yeah.
And all of you want to hug the original trilogy like it's all timeless.
Like, bro, that thing has flaws. Same with the prequels, but not as okay. Both the trilogies has flaws, but not some like Deus Ex Machina, franchise breaking, lore breaking shit in the sequel trilogy and Disney Star Wars as a whole.
And Rey, using 2 lightsabers against Palpatine and overpowers him.
And yes, and ripping off Endgame, that almost made me laugh out loud. Like,
I am all the Sith.
Also, not to mention ripping off Endgame and spoiling Raiders. No, don't show the gift, please. And spoiling Raiders of the Lost Ark. Are you kidding me? You're spoiling Raiders of the Lost Ark because that spoiler became a meme. Don't show it though. I don't want to get jumped.
Oh, but I see what you're saying.
But why would you do that? Why would you do that? What are these progressive asshats being sheep? Their old sheep might haven't seen Raiders of the Lost Ark. Okay, thank you for spoiling Raiders of the Lost Ark. Thank you for spoiling it. That means that every time you want to type in these two words, they're going to be the everly shit out of it, just like Cadicurus and other asses you just did that stunt. Please don't show it, please. I don't want to get another jump scare. Please.
No, that's fine.
Barely even like them, Iron.
Pause it real quick. So this is kind of off topic, but I just created my own little like narrative that this here is Dumbsville being held hostage by Disney Lucasfilm and saying, you must say good things about Disney and you must still hate the prequels.
Oh, yes.
Joseph was in text speech, say like UOT, bro, OG6, that's some OT crap. What that is a major red flag of what Judge has to say about the prequels. OT. Doesn't say OG or you Star Wars fanboys. That's just OT. You pretentious clout chaser. You're doing the same thing that Game Guy's doing. That you criticized them for. You kidding me? You fucking hypocrite. You're doing the same thing True Love Area 4 has done.
Okay, nothing against Dumbsville. It's just that
I love
some
his
of the
content.
points are a little contradictory.
Mm-hmm.
Just shouting out, these movies are fucking garbage.
Filled with bad characters, bad writing, and bad CGI. No, I simply watched the prequels and thought they were shitty movies. No. Yes, he made that comment after I called him out. He did the Gamer Guy. Remember, Gamer Guy responded to the video saying definitely the most autistic video I ever spent of watching. Look at here, Dustin did it to me. He said that, no, I simply watched the prequels and thought they were shitty movies. Look, bruh.
Bro,
really?
You had a clip from Red Letter Media.
In your Song Me rant video. You kidding me? And also taking shots at Jar Jar Binks in your Song 93 video. If that doesn't summarize the blatant hypocrisy of Dunzo, especially Dylan Thomas, and what he compared the prequels dialogue to R.M. and Alex Hedgefogs bailing me out of a question saying that if Anakin versus Obi-Wan duel is better than Sonic and Tails duel during the Flynn era of the Archie comics, and Alex Hedgefogs bailed me out on it. I can tell you, which I assume he hates the prequels too. I don't know what to say or do.
No.
Honestly.
Okay, well, now's not the time for exposing.
Yeah,
Dumbsville.
please.
Let's rip apart.
We've been all over this.
Cockloid.
These movies are not a guilty pleasure for me because when I watch them, I feel no pleasure, only guilt. Like I said in the last video, you have to be brainwashed into liking these movies.
Okay, fuck you.
Brainwashed.
That's hypocrisy because from the first 5 seconds you took advice from Red Letter Media.
Yep. Check.
What pisses me off the most about that comment he makes is not only that saying that you have to be brainwashed into liking something is
that's
the way that it is. Like, yes, you have to be brainwashed into liking something, but the way that like he portrays it this way, but he says so many other contradictory things about like other movies that he reviews, and that we have to accept the dumb stuff and just watch it as it is. And like then he goes and contradicts himself saying this doesn't make any sense, this is just plot magic.
Also, hate to be hack for Mia here, but wait just a minute. So you're trying to tell me that you're trying to say that we're brainwashed into liking the prequels, yet you yourself take Blister Plinkett as gospel and how everything around the prequels were, yet you yourself grew up liking the prequels alongside Chris Duckman, Domsville, the Warder Wolf, and Ralph the Movie Maker, and a bunch of other people. Doesn't that sound a bit contradictory and hypocritical? Which one is it then? Do you like the prequels or not? The first time viewing them or not? Because what you're saying doesn't make any lick of sense here. I figure coming up with your excuses to pander towards those butthurt millennials and baby busters bitching about how George Lucas didn't do what they told him to do
because of Boba Fett pajama fucking moron on the internet.
Wow, you're such a pretentious soy boy.
Really? Yeah, just don't go calling people brainwashed for liking stuff. Like you don't see me. Okay, well I don't like Teen Titans Go, but you don't see me like making a video how people who actually like that show are brainwashed.
And also like I don't like unnecessary sequels to horror movies, but I can't call people brainwashed because you have to be brainwashed into liking these movies is an objective statement.
I'm not a huge fan. I find BNA brand new ammo. I'm not spoiling the anime, but I find it average at best. But I'm not going to make a stupid video telling the people who like BNA are just simply brainwashed.
Yeah.
It disgusts me. Like
Mhm.
the more that people say this stuff, the more like it rubs off on themselves, and then they become hypocrites. So
Yeah,
point made.
Dubsville.
I know this because I was brainwashed. They came
You look like
Admittedly, he does look cute as a child.
yes.
Before he became a soy boy, of course.
out with these boring ass movies with a racist Jamaican caricature.
Here
there
we
it is.
go. Here we
Racist
go.
Jamaican stereotype. As
Stop!
that is so
Stop!
stupid at this point.
Enough. Shit.
Stop being so racist.
I know.
Not you, Jar Jar. You're good. You're good in my books. I'm talking to Cosmonaut here. I'm talking Marcus. Stop. You and the mainstream media and Mr. Plinkin, stop labeling him as a discount Roger Rabbit and stop labeling him. It's just a coincidence. Stop. He's actually based on Goofy. Stop labeling him as a racist caricature of a Jamaican stereotype when you yourselves accusing Lucas of doing this quote unquote act are nothing but racists.
Yes.
Yourself.
I just see them as people grasping at straws.
And also, guess what Disney did? They listened to the racist Chinese about Finn being the main character.
Oh God. Let's not bring that up.
That.
They're alien and they sold us toys and video games and Halloween costumes. And this was my whole childhood.
Yes, this was my childhood too.
And
Sadly,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Anything that becomes popular can still sell into merchandise. But the thing is, yes, George Lucas still wanted to create his story. He wanted to flesh things out
And make money.
And make money. Disney only wants to make money.
And
Yeah.
also George Lucas, at this time Phantom Menace came out, he saved Lego from going out of business.
Wait a minute, which movie was that?
Just the first one, the Phantom Menace. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he saved a toy industry, Lego, from going out of business.
Not to mention,
That's crazy.
also one thing Lego related that made Traveler's Tales, aka TT Games, a household name nowadays. Lego Star Wars, the video game.
Yes,
Yep.
and
Strong.
Traveler's Tales acquired Giant Interactive, then became a subsidiary TT Games, and made Lego Star Wars 2 the original trilogy. And licensees and companies were like, Traveler's Tales is they made Lego Star Wars. Hell yeah, Indiana Jones and Batman.
Marvel.
Then it became a whole bunch of stuff.
In fact, without Lego Star Wars, the video games, Traveler's Tales' reputation wouldn't be well known as it's today. So
Yeah.
so we can
before
thank George
that-
Lucas for that too.
Yes.
New movie, new video games, new toys, Star Wars potato chips, Star Wars candy, Star Wars was everywhere. And
Yes, and it was amazing. In fact, I like by the time Revenge of the Sith came out, I started to see Star Wars everywhere. And and even I got like a cereal, like you get a prize and it had like a lightsaber spoon.
Also,
I think I remember that actually.
Yeah.
M&M's, Burger King. Oh yes!
In fact, I do have like a Darth Maul and Jabba the Hutt toys from Burger King.
And that was also,
back.
I think, they had like this little like timeline too with like the toy lineup for Burger King that told you about the Star Wars saga. And well, yeah, it did kind of spoil Revenge of the Sith because that was before I saw it, but I thought that was cool too.
Yeah, and also they had like the prize things and such, scratch offs.
When Star Wars was actually a name that was worth, like, well, it was not corporatized yet.
Also, Star Wars Battlefront 2. Yes.
Not EA.
And also, classic one, the pandemic, the
pandemic one.
Pandemic. I actually
the P word.
I actually mispronounced it as
seriously. I'm gonna get demonetized if I use that.
Let's call it pan. I'm gonna call it Pandy. How about Pandy?
Yeah,
Okay.
because that just caused demonetization.
Star Wars Battlefront 2 by Pandy, amazing. The first game, Star Wars Battlefront by Pandy, amazing. Star Wars Starfighter Special Edition, okay, yeah, it's a bit hard, but I'm okay with that. Star Wars Obi-Wan, no matter what people say about that game, it's a huge guilty pleasure of mine.
I think I have it on Xbox along with Clone Wars.
But not the Clone Wars, though.
Yeah, like...
Well, so you first.
Yeah, I also have Starfighter for PlayStation 2.
Episode 3 video game from
yes,
the collect
for Xbox.
Yeah.
I got it for the PS2, so.
Yeah, and I still got the first Lego Star Wars that started it all. So,
and also, I have Star Wars Episode 1, the Phantom Menace game for PlayStation 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I got Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy first. That was the greatest hits.
Yeah, that's PS2.
And then early 2010s, I managed to come across the greatest hits version of Lego Star Wars the video game, and thank God I snatched that up because I heard the original Black Label version of Lego Star Wars the video game on PS2 uses the blue disc instead of, and whereas the greatest hits version uses a DVD-ROM. So thank God I picked up the greatest hits version.
Yeah,
that's great.
Also, yeah, fun fact: Force Unleashed, I have 4 copies.
Oh,
nice!
I have the PlayStation 3, the PlayStation 2, the PSP, and the Wii.
Oh, well then there you go. So you won't be losing any copies anytime soon. Then.
No.
Good for you.
Okay. All right, back to the video.
And I like Star Wars a lot, bro. I was watching Star Wars since before the prequels even came out.
Well, yes,
oh boy.
The first Star Wars movie I've watched was A New Hope. My parents showed me that movie.
I think the first movie I watched was like either Attack of the Clones or I think Attack of the Clones or Phantom Menace. No, I assume Attack of the Clones.
Yeah,
it was Phantom Menace for me essentially, and it was only like when I was really young, and then Attack of the Clones I barely saw. Yeah, Revenge of the Sith was the first I saw.
The funny thing is, like, I don't hate the prequels, and yet, the first Star Wars movie I was shown was from the original trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, yeah, people having bias towards the prequels after watching the original trilogy, it's not always the same.
No.
You can like the saga. You can just don't go saying, "Oh, Disney saved Star Wars because Star Wars should be this way." Okay.
Yeah. I love the Lucas 6.
Yes, the OG
too.
Lucas.
Also, you can fake my VHS copy episode 2 for introducing to the original trilogy. Same goes to the 2000 VHS release of X-Men. The special edition, the 1987 special edition re-release back in 2000. So on VHS. So, but I never owned that set. So,
okay.
No.
I've been in this fight since I was 6 years old.
It truly fucking blows my mind that people are only just now mad at Star Wars.
And also, I remember that commercial.
May the prize be with you.
On Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon.
Yes.
The
good old days.
Take me back.
The good old days. I watched Gennady Tartakovsky's Clone Wars, and this played.
I know.
I remember it was like 3 or 4 when I saw a snippet of season 1 of Clone Wars, but the Clone Wars connection I'm more familiar with is the Clone Wars, which I grew up loving. But
yeah, that one. I only saw like bits and pieces of Volume 2 when I was young and before I saw Revenge, but I didn't fully get to see it till I got like the 2 DVDs of it in like 2007. I think that was crazy.
Yes,
I never got into Clone Wars until I got it from like Netflix DVD on demand service, DVD mailing service thing, Volume 2 actually. And I also remember watching those AMVs of Clone Wars back on YouTube many years ago. What were you saying, Tyrex?
I actually, my parents gave me Episode 3 and Clone Wars on DVDs of Christmas 2005.
Wow, neat.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
Just too many good memories we hold with all this stuff.
I was like popping in Clone Wars on my PlayStation 2, watched it.
Hey, PlayStation 2, the pioneer of DVD format on the console.
Yes.
No
for
remote
being
control
a
required.
cash grab franchise that only cares about merchandise.
No, the cash grab is Disney.
Exactly.
Search your feelings. You know it will be true. Okay.
Search
They
it.
seriously act like Disney's the only reason Star Wars is trying to make money?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
What
Nostalgia.
fucking planet have you been living on?
What fucking
Planet that I would love to live on. Where Disney
what
doesn't
fucking
have
planet
Star
have you been living on, Cosmonaut? Well, that's what I want to
Squid
know.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a planet where I'd want to live, where there's no Disney Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yes. I wish I had a Rick's portal gun just so I could just say, okay, all the 6 Star Wars OG Star Wars movie. There's no Disney.
I wish I have a DeLorean so I can go back into 2000s, but I don't want to fuck up continuity of myself. I meet my younger 5-year-old, 3-year-old, 2-year-old me, and my mother. So,
Oh, I see. Also, yeah, this kid's like
Star-
playing. never mind.
Playing with his X-wing. Yeah.
Okay, well, never mind that.
Star Wars has always been like this.
Star Wars Micro Machines. There's a cool adventure in every collection.
New Star Wars Micro Machines. Machines so iconic, they're legendary.
And when the prequel train started
what's wrong
revving
with
up, it
that?
was just time for more merchandise. It was a good time to be an
Yes.
impressionable little kid who loves Star Wars. And back then, I didn't have the mental capacity to judge these movies.
And you still don't.
so true.
Nobody in my
Okay.
age group did. We saw the lightsabers and we were on board. We didn't
Yeah, what got me attracted to Star Wars was the lightsabers.
Yes,
Yeah.
I like. Well,
I was
mean,
like,
you could
what
see-
is that cool fucking sword?
Like you could say it this way. Like from my point of view, I didn't know about Star Wars until I like heard about the Phantom Menace and like saw Darth Maul and everything, and I'd never even seen like Darth Vader before because I didn't. Well, because I was born much earlier and stuff. But anyways,
Yeah.
essentially, yeah, I saw Darth Maul. I only saw Darth Maul as like the face of the franchise, but I was intrigued by it. I was intrigued by like the cool lightsabers. They were like, oh, laser swords and the battle droid designs and like the queen, like, and I always thought as like a kid that she was like bleeding on her lip, but it's just
No,
like some
it's
makeup.
makeup.
And
Yeah,
for me-
it's like Queens of Naboo always have makeup on for their elective royalty.
And for me, when it comes to like my first time seeing my first Star Wars film on VHS, Attack of the Clones. Okay, it's hard to tell since it's been decades since I was like a little kid or toddler. But I think I remember seeing the like Val Geonosis, if I can recall correctly, and I was impressed. And then when I got a little bit older, like I'm still a child at the time, and I watched the Phantom Menace, and I was intrigued. By the Duel of the Fates, like
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Maul.
Mm-hmm.
That was just an
intrigued by it.
awesome soundtrack. I would remember the first time watching that.
Well, even people who don't like these movies always praise the music and stuff. But
Oliver Harper. Oh, well, yeah, Oliver Harper is an OG fan.
Yeah, but the best soundtrack is by far Revenge of the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay, but the point I was trying to make before was just that, just because I saw this first before that first with Star Wars doesn't mean that, this is better than that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I just went along with it. Like,
Same.
I just wish people could actually.
Appreciate them. Take the time to appreciate them. What they were.
I'm wishing for too much there. All right, let's see.
I didn't give a shit. I think everybody has that moment where they're watching the prequels after having grown up a bit and they realize, Jesus Christ, what did I like about these movies? That moment.
I like
yeah.
how he's showing I like how he's showing Christopher Lee, who people really liked in these movies.
Yes, and also he considers him. I don't want to say. Well, let's keep the spoiler
Oh,
to a
gosh.
minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Only off of influences of the internet is what caused that.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, be right back. I need to use the bathroom real quick. You
All
guys
right.
Okay.
go on ahead.
All right, fine. Yeah. We will suffer.
We can just wait till he gets back.
Oh, here. Well, then let me. Why don't I get my charger so I don't run out?
Yeah. I'm gonna charge my phone too.
And I'm back.
All right, welcome back. Cole's getting his charger.
Okay. Same. My laptop battery's dying, but let's go and give my laptop RAM and boost. I just don't want to damage the battery, so.
Alright. Give me a sec. Make sure we're good. Alright, alright, we are here to do this.
Moment where you realize that you don't actually understand the plot of any of these movies, that they're boring and the acting is bad, and there's
Every time I watch it, I start to understand watching it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, you can't understand the plot. Well, then maybe you should go back and rewatch it again. Then you'll understand it.
Politics lasts for minutes. How is it like boring? You can say that. Tell that to Quentin Tarantino's movies like Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill, Volumes 1 and 2, and what have you.
There's just no good aspect to enjoy. Once my generation got older and we realized these movies were bad, there was peace on the internet for a brief time. It was widely accepted that the Star Wars prequels were not good movies, and there wasn't anybody else.
They were good.
If you tried to tell me that there was peace on the internet when people bashed these movies, then I'm just gonna say
you're wrong.
You have been deceived.
Yes.
Live who unironically liked them. There was no more world hunger.
Yeah, sure.
Racism was over.
Racism was over. No more world hunger. And yet there still is in the Disney movies.
Yep. Pandering, virtue signaling.
Which is, in fact, worse.
Mm-hmm.
Only one could wish that racism and world peace would actually happen, but if that did happen, then maybe George wouldn't have sold it.
Yeah.
Just making me wish too much. Okay, I don't want to.
Grasp me at wish is here. Anyway.
We as a species had finally achieved world peace.
We will have peace after we roast you.
And then Disney started making Star Wars movies.
Yeah, which you praise.
Star Wars fans.
Yes.
Sammy Classic Sonic.
And now,
yeah, nice way to portray us. All right, that we're unpleasable. Don't try to lump us with the Sonic or the Rick and Morty fan base.
Yeah.
Right?
Why?
All of a sudden, people are saying the prequels are good. What the fuck happened? I've seen so many people unironically defend these.
Maybe people woke up. Maybe you should start waking up too.
People realized that these movies were never terrible. It's that they were influenced by assholes like you on the internet. And that's like the biggest thing, is that the internet essentially, like even George himself said that like the influence of the internet is what led to him like getting stressed out because of his creation, and also led to fucking Ahmed Best wanting to commit suicide because of that.
Jake Lloyd
was driven to insanity.
Yeah, schizophrenia, the John Nash. Oh my.
Yeah, fuck you, Mike Stuckless, and fuck you guys who wrote George Lucas Rape Our Childhood, and fuck the people who did the People versus George Lucas. You all should be fucking ashamed of yourselves, you cunts.
And for those of you still keep on doing this, just ride on this stupid bandwagon of Ahmed Best being what have you. It really goes straight to hell.
Yeah.
And also, there's even with this Disney disaster happening, there are still people out there who feel the need to shit on George. Like, for example, Shafrias Productions made a video about praising the last season of the Clone Wars. No spoilers, but he essentially said there's a part where he essentially calls out George for liking a certain arc in that show, which he did not like. And the way that he talks about him it just implies that like he's essentially just feeling the need to shit on George for that matter. And he also made a Darth Maul video about how Disney killed Darth Maul through exposure. Like,
what?
I don't understand the premise. Like, he's saying that he wanted more of Darth Maul because George shouldn't have killed him off in the first movie, and that the Clone Wars essentially saved his character, and then Disney overexposed him and then essentially ruined it. Apparently. Well, I mean, I'll agree with him being in Solo was a little bit overexposed, but continuing him in Rebels kind of makes sense, though.
Yes, and
but it does
Dave
spoil what
Filoni
happens
material.
in Clone Wars still. But he also goes and says, I want a character that is good, strong, and not written by George Lucas because he would 100% screw it up. Yep,
fuck you. That your logic is beyond fucked.
Who you guys referring to?
Shafrias Productions. He's a guy who is.
Oh, that him.
I do like him as a content creator, but he kind of does have a lot of hate bias towards George.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oliver Harper. I lost all respect for that man because he's OT fanboy and he regurgitates regular media and he also made this review on that recent 4K release of Batman 1989. It said don't do another George Lucas. It alters sound mix. He's comparing it to George Lucas. What does George Lucas got to do anything? Not to mention he has really bad takes with the special editions, his retrospectives of the original trilogy. And he couldn't do the retrospectives of the prequel trilogy because he said regular media did it best. Like, bro, it's not that hard.
No.
As mentioned in his Rise of Skywalker review, he compares George Lucas' poetry quote as excuse for lazy writing. Like, bruh, really?
Oh,
really?
My God.
You clearly enjoyed the prequels. Granted, you're a millennial born like in '80s, but you clearly grew up with the prequels. And now you've been influenced by regular media.
Of course, Mike's this asshole named Mike.
It just spread toxicity. Essentially.
Also, special shout out to the offer of Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out for coincidentally giving Hana Uzaki that young Anakin Skywalker like haircut, which led to a meme, actually.
Also, I love to give a shout out to Red Letter Media because they're the best reviewers on the internet for the Star Wars prequels. They are in depth with analysis, and they proved a point to why they are hated so much, and we should hate them. We need to build a shrine in our Boba Fett pajamas.
Oh, don't forget about Confused Matthew, though.
We must praise the original trilogy. We must praise Disney.
We must make it stop.
Okay, yeah, we're treating it like an OT fanboy religion.
That is religion, basically. Anyway, let's press on.
Movies and then turn around and shit on other bad movies like Suicide Squad or Batman v Superman, even though they all share the same exact issues. Overly expensive movies with bad effects and worse writing.
Yeah, you're comparing the prequel trilogy to the DCE to a corporatized cinematic universe.
Well, it was corporatized to a degree, but I mean, at least they tried in some parts.
Yeah.
I mean, at least things are looking better though nowadays.
I just wish Christopher Nolan just would be in charge of that extended universe, but he wants to do his own material, though.
I think he signed on the executive producer roles, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but I felt like he could have written and such.
Not to mention David S. Goyer of Dark City fame, and he also did for Dark Knight trilogy. Also handled the additional writing credits for the for not only the DCU, mainly like Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. I forget Batman v Superman, but also did work for writing credit for Terminator Woke Fate. So red
Also,
flag.
one thing. We must save Martha!
Martha!
Why did you say that name?
What's her mother's name?
Just like mine!
It's not that crap again.
And way too many people are saying that the prequels are redeemed because they're better than the new movies.
Of course!
Well, objectively, they are because they have.
I always pause at the best faces. First with Han Solo and now with Rey.
Oh, Daisy Ridley. I mean, she's able to at least express well, but when her character's written that horribly.
And also, please don't. And also, I don't like how the guy breaks the action figure and says, "I fucking hate you, Daisy Ridley. I hope you fucking die."
Yeah,
that's going too far.
They are better because the prequels I feel are objectively better because they have a well written and well put together story that complements the original trilogy, and it works together as a saga if you watch them in episodic order.
Yes.
And people always say that you have to watch it in like a certain order, like release date first, then
like Mark Hamill said that on Twitter.
Watch them watch them by how they're produced by year. Like what?
I would go for chronological order.
Like
to be honest,
that is the way that it's meant to be done. Like the only reason why people say like do it in this order or machete order is because of the Vader twist. But at this point, like the Vader twist doesn't even faze me as much. Like
same.
Yeah,
like,
same.
even watching
it, this is about to happen.
Yeah, like even with
but
if
the Vader twist was amazing. It just ruins the Vader twist in the prequels.
even if you don't know the Vader twist coming, like there's still like a lot of tension that will Luke turn to the dark side or not by the end. Like if you watch it in episode order, then yeah, you get. Well, if you start out with the Phantom Menace, then it still shows you off what Jedi are, what kind of universe this is, and how it works, and how politics work, how queens or how chancellors are elected and stuff. Like it's called world building. Like,
yes.
And people like to shit on these movies just because of all the red letter media regurgitated stuff.
Let me ask you this. 2.0.
How dare the prequels are
let me ask you people this. Like,
trilogy.
What kind of world building does the Disney trilogy have to offer, huh?
None.
Discount Mad Max. Discount Mad Max.
Discount Tatooine. Two discounts Tatooines. Oh, a casino, a betting planet with a casino. Okay, Canto Bite was like the only thing that was world building, but it doesn't even come close to what the prequels had to offer.
And even then, it's still something that people who like The Last Jedi still can't defend.
Not to mention the name, Canto by Canto. Huh, gee, that sounds like a certain setting from a video game that started this whole another franchise that's been in our minds, that's been affecting Gen Winers since, 1996? I wonder what that place could be. From Gen 1, Pokemon Gen 1.
Oh, wow. Jeez, Disney. And Ryan Johnson.
And Lucasfilm Story Group.
Ryan, do not take me for some conjurer of cheap tricks.
How about you should just put that? You should just make that the whole Disney logo. Is that phrase?
Yes, as Gandalf.
You might as
Now,
well
first of all, the new movies aren't even that bad. I don't love every aspect of them, but I cannot call them bad movies. I honestly have full respect for people who hate the prequels and the sequels equally. I think that's totally fair. What kills me is when people say these movies are good and these aren't. Oh, at least the prequels
Yeah, the prequel
had some original ideas. Who the fuck says shit like this? Original ideas.
sane
People.
people.
Brains. What? So you're against originality now? Like,
So you want regurgitation and creative bankruptcy? You fucking soy boy.
Ideas aren't enough to make a movie good, and something can still be good without.
That's debatable. All right.
Yeah, it is debatable.
Originality is like in terms of concepts and stuff, there are movies with original ideas that are not executed the best, but originality is what makes something stand out. It's what makes people want to watch it. Like take, for example, a movie like, I know you guys probably haven't seen it as much, but the movie Interstellar, like this was,
I haven't seen it.
2014. It was a long movie. I'm honestly like not so about it. Like I'm 50-50 about it. Like it's a very long movie about like Earth being it's like involving Earth like no longer being livable, and so they have to find like a new life on a different part of space, and it's like praised for its originality and stuff. Even if you can't watch it because of its long length, there are people who praise it as like one of the best movies of all time because of that. And now compared to something like Avatar, which is just a movie that is spectacle and about nothing much else. I mean, it's devoid of any sort of originality.
Speaking of Avatar, did I mention that Sideways made a video on Avatar's music where James Cameron screwed James Horner over his creativity? Holy shit! First Aliens, and now you have a reunion Titanic, which led James Horner won 2 Oscars, and now you're going to screw him over years before he lost his life in the plane crash. Before Horner lost his life in the plane crash. Are you kidding me? You're going
And also like about like unoriginality, like it can be executed better. Like that movie we saw last night, which was Bill and Ted 3. Like there was elements that remade Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey.
Please spoil Face music for me because I heard it was bad. Please spoil it for me. Please spoil it.
We actually liked it. Though,
I actually liked it.
Oh.
Well, I saw it at like over like in New Jersey. We have like a drive-in movie theater in Vineland, which is
like. Well, we shouldn't like spoil it though. Like,
yeah. And also, we saw Monty Python along with it.
Yes, Monty Python. Yeah, well, at least I got a chance to see most of it.
Yeah.
Having original ideas. Stranger Things doesn't have a single original idea at all, and it's generally seen to be pretty good. Everybody likes it. The prequel.
It's nostalgia. I haven't seen Stranger Things either.
Well, he also did make a video. He also did make a video about how the other 2 seasons should have been like anthology style or shouldn't have been made because he thought that the first season was perfect. And I do kind of disagree though, but I'm not going to like say that he's wrong about it, but I just disagree that I really like the other 2 seasons as well. And yeah, he does. That's fine. Like originality is just something that can make a film stand out. But if you don't have originality, then just at least have good writing.
Yeah, and just not J.J. Abrams' style of writing.
Yeah.
Do not take me for some conjurer of cheap tricks.
Not again.
Prequels have a lot of unique ideas, yeah, and they're not presented in a good way at all in these movies.
They are presented fine, but what you think, okay, it's your personal opinion.
But you at least gotta give us evidence of what you think about it, like give us factual evidence, all right?
And make subjective points. Say, I think. Just say, I think. Like, if you say, I think, then it proves to be subjective.
Right, so like he always thinks... But this is coming from the same guy that's saying that there is no like objectivity in films. Apparently, I just
Jedi! What do you know?
If you thought this was going to be a video about me praising the prequels, then I'm sorry.
Okay, why would anyone? I know EFAP said this, but also, but why would anyone think that this is a video about you praising the prequels when you have "Why They Suck" on the thumbnail?
Yes.
And also, you suck off Red Letter Media in the first 4 seconds. So yeah, that's already a red flag.
And also, we're gonna get into the Raimi films too.
Yeah, that'll be for another
Also,
time.
in his amazing video, it's just him.
His audio's like,
What?
it's a little lower on my side.
Amazing Spider-Man.
Grant?
Oh
yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. Okay, as I was saying, also saying that what you said about the way you mentioned on the Ray movies, he also made the worst you remember video on the Amazing Spider-Man movies. It's just him regurgitating what Ralph the Movie Maker said about the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
Oh boy!
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I'm not kidding.
Also,
that's also kind of creepy that it's Ralph the Movie Maker and Red Letter Media. Both their names sound kind of similar.
Not to mention Ralph's mannerisms are inspired by Red Letter Media. Nothing in this movie makes any sense at all. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Oh boy!
Also, we're gonna do Ralph the Movie Maker and Sardonic cast on the prequels, the Three Stooges.
Yes, indeed.
Probably don't know me very well. Maybe we can be friends in another life. Today, I'm going to try and bring these movies back down a peg. Because I hate them, and when people disagree with me, I feel uncomfortable.
Okay, well, fuck you then. All right, you don't get to tell us what we should like and like. Right?
You're so uncomfortable. Oh my gosh!
Me uncomfortable, Cosmonaut.
These videos make me uncomfortable.
These videos are
They
just
make me
disgrace.
pissed, really, though.
Now, before I start tearing into the movie, I should be fair and talk about the good things.
Be fair, huh? This is your idea of fair.
Yes, I have to pause this.
Think is unfair.
I have to pause this every sentence because John Williams.
Cosmonaut, if you're going to do a review on Star Wars, how about you stop, and I mean stop playing those damn soundtracks. Okay, this is
another problem.
This is clearly designed to pretty much a trap for those who want to make response videos to those videos using John Williams music as a way to allow Content ID to screw them over. Bro, because Marcus and other people just use John Williams music as trapping bait, can't take criticism.
Also, Samuel Gavin uses John Williams music the whole fucking time in his videos.
It's like
it's unviewable, unresponsible. Yeah, I mean.
Well, I mean, Anomaly was able to respond to it without getting cucked. I mean. But it took a lot of pausing. But it's really like we're trying to. It's like they're a duelist and we're playing into their trap cards so that they get us taken down.
Maybe I'll like download those videos to the hard drive and like watch them. But I'm gonna have to fix the audio and just does it like line up with the bots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, you can like mute certain parts. That's fine.
Yeah. I put a disclaimer that said mute for John Williams music, just like Anomaly does.
Or pitch it, like
pitch it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pitch it though does sometimes not work, like
because bots still detect it though.
Yeah. All right, let's go.
This isn't the worst movie ever made, so it has to have some positive qualities, right? So,
Wow, you have notes? You have notes? Wow, way to expose yourself.
You expose that you just
check
regurgitate
you.
other stuff.
You were like, oh, checking notes. I gotta pull up my drawer to check the notes. Okay. Okay, yeah, Star Wars The Phantom Menace was the biggest disappointment since my son. Yeah.
There you get it. There's your evidence that Cosmonaut doesn't go by his own opinions. He just goes by others.
I discovered that most critics themselves are cinematically. They don't really know much about them. They don't know the history. They don't know technology. They don't know anything. So then, try and analyze it. They're lost.
Yeah.
And Cosmonaut's
you know what?
brainwashed.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? What's even the weirder part about this is that I even used an example of internet critics brainwashing us into thinking certain things about movies as use of an essay once, actually. And it's like, essentially, I want to spread the word that the internet is toxic, and it's what's keeping people from watching movies sometimes.
Yeah. The Imagine Anime hates the prequels.
Oh, jeez.
Prequel Trilogy over the prequels. You know, that fedora-wearing Spurge nostalgic critic clone that reviews animated movies by regurgitating using the same mannerisms as nostalgic critic.
Yes.
God. That male feminist.
Yeah, I watched him before.
Someone, but we're not going to name him. But God, help me! I don't want to watch this content anymore.
His voice just gets on my nerves too. It's so like high pitched and stuff. It's so over exaggerated.
Jesus Christ! And he's like a know-it-all. No, he ain't.
The music is pretty good. The thing is,
that's
okay. Don't play it though.
Yeah, please
don't.
He's going to at one point, though, I can recall.
Yes.
Is almost every aspect of this movie that's sort of okay has a little asterisk right above it. I want to say the effects are good because a lot of them are technically very impressive. For a movie that came out in 1999, Jar Jar looks pretty good, but the effects aren't always integrated into the movie in a convincing way. I mean, the pod racing scene is pretty cool because it's the only time in the movie where you feel like you're not dead. That's probably the only enjoyable scene.
Oh, come on. The pod race scenes were great.
Yeah, but they weren't the only time in the movie I felt like I wasn't dead. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? But
Heck, they even made a video game based on the pod race, which is Star Wars Episode 1 Racer.
Yeah, and also this is a digital re-release.
Yes. Yes, released for Nintendo 64, the Sega Dreamcast, and also re-released for the newer for the current gen consoles.
Like, saying that this part was the only part where you don't feel like you're in a coma, like, oh, what? So, in the first half hour of this movie, there wasn't any, like, droid slicing, there wasn't any finding Jar Jar, going to the city, then being attacked by fish creatures, coming up, and then saving the queen, and then traveling and almost getting blown up by a blockade.
This is the worst movie in the saga. Empire Strikes Back. Battlehoff starts like in 20 to 30 minutes. Oh, this is the greatest movie ever.
Oh, Jake Lloyd reprised his role as Anakin and Star Wars Episode 1 Racer for Food for Thought. So.
Well, yeah, because he liked playing the character.
Yes. There was a lot more action going on in the Phantom Menace than you think.
Yeah.
Yes, you people just like to grasp it only at certain things that, like, of course, Red Letter Media or the people who made the documentary said, but still, like...
Yeah. We got a duel on Death Star, which is,
dated fight.
Was dated. We got a duel at classic processing vein, which it's improvement, but it's filled with rotoscoping errors, continuity errors, and
swinging baseball bats.
And also Return to Jedi duel in Death Star. Well, yes, it's emotional, but at the same time, the way Luke please lightsaber against Vader after he says never was actually pretty laughable, to be honest.
And like it's also like it's also shot weird too because we first see it underneath the steps, and then as they're dueling, that they have the steps get in the way, so we can't even see the jack shit.
I mean, I know. Like Cole showed me scene 38 reimagined with the Darth Vader versus the Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader duel on the Death Star. It's really cool.
Yeah, if anyone is wondering, like, look up like Star Wars fan films, and you'll find scene 38 reimagined. Like it's an incredibly well made.
I heard
reimagining of that.
I heard like Episode 5 lightsaber duel will be is in the works now.
Oh, cool! Finally.
Okay. Let's suffer through.
Okay.
Other than the final battle. And I'd say the final battle is the one scene that is so cool it tricked people into liking this movie for just a little bit after it came out. Sometimes
also Watch Mojo put this as the #1 sword fight in films, and yet they say Phantom Menace is terrible.
Also,
not a big surprise.
Furthermore, in their top 10 lightsaber duels, they have Anakin versus Obi-Wan at #1, yet they hate Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
And they even added Anakin and Obi-Wan versus Count Dooku in their honorable mentions the same video. I think they add Yoda versus Count Dooku in one of the top 10 spots, so
I swear, Raj Mojo is just run by like people
who just read people's notes or list,
media articles and all that crap.
They're not really made to be just like actually taken seriously. I'm feeling
like they don't talk about their own opinions. They talk about someone else's opinions through their articles.
AVGN or AVGN, Superman 64, ET, or Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, or CDI, all that.
Yeah, they're just made to like pander to whoever likes top 10 lists.
And they always put the Phantom Menace in the top 10 worst sequels ever, like Watch Mojo and Doug Walker.
Yeah, like that's not eligible for a sequel spot because it's a prequel.
Yeah.
And the sequel trilogy should take its place now.
Also, what's with Watch Mojo and reusing a same topic, like say character or movie or what have you? They reused the same script template for that topic in one of the top 10 spots, and reused it again in another top 10 video. They reused Jerry Dandridge from Fright Night not once, not in one video, but 2 videos of the same script template about Jerry Dandridge from Fright Night. And it's the same edited clips. Are you that lazy?
Honestly, at this point, if you still watch Mojo and take them seriously, then I'm sorry.
I stopped watching them after their.
I'm sorry, bro, but you've been smoking too many death sticks.
Yes.
You're hungry, rethink your life.
Yes.
An exciting ending can fool an audience into thinking a movie is good, and this final battle is actually pretty dope. But at the same time, it's kind of hard to enjoy it when you realize that you don't care about any of the things that are happening in this movie. There is also...
If you don't actually pay attention, then perhaps that is.
Yes.
One single line that I kind of like in this movie.
Perhaps I killed a Jedi and took it from him.
I don't think so. No one can kill a Jedi.
I wish that was so.
Qui-Gon's being sarcastic.
I kind of like this.
Yes, and also this is a foreshadow too.
Yes, these movies have a lot of great foreshadowing.
And echoing.
Yes, like a lot of people just don't realize like how actually like certain things foreshadow and mirror each other a lot. And it's certain things about the prequels where the more you think about it, the more it actually makes sense. Whereas the sequel trilogy, the more you think about certain things, the less it makes fucking sense. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Also, I hate to say this off-topically, but I'm going to say it's different than what Nama said, but prequel hate is basically the equivalent to James Horner. Why did I mention this late man? Because he's been accused of copy-pasting his scores. Well, guess what? He's inspired by classical works, including Jerry Goldsmith. And guess what? People also need to remind me is that when people like Jerry Goldsmith, Alan Silvestri, Michael Kamen, Danny Elfman, Shirley Walker, and especially Hans Zimmer reused a lot of their motifs from each other or their own scores, and they get away with it. And they say, oh, it's fine, or this is a lesser known work. And film music critics be like, oh, those are lesser known works, or oh no, that's fine, it works so well.
Yeah.
But every time they review a James Horner score, they bitch and moan. Like, bruh, so you try and tell me you're fine with Jerry Goldsmith and and Hans Zimmer and other people like reusing their own motifs and others in their own scores in each scores and like before their timely deaths or still could survive, still living. But when it comes to the late man himself, James Horner, it's a problem. Sounds like grasping at straws and blatant hypocrisy and selective reasoning in my eyes and ears. Granted, yes, Horner did make some very shitty scores, such as Red Heat, which is intolerable. But I've grown to appreciate them. It's so obvious. It's actually pretty noteworthy. It's like painting, like inspiration, like revisiting a painting. But no, you can't do it because he doesn't own the music. It belongs to the film company. If he revisits that painting, the film company who owns that music that contains that same information will be like, hey, that belongs to us. You can't do that. No.
Well,
Hans Zimmer, film music plagiarism is basically impossible nowadays. Even after the 300 incident, but oh man, good luck suing Hans Zimmer for blatantly copying pasting his own shit, or accusing him of copy and paste shit, but I just want to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
I feel of hypocrisy.
Yes.
Hypocrisy is strong with these people.
A subtle foreshadowing in that line, and that's one of the only times I'm ever going to call these movies subtle, so enjoy it. But the main positive in
There's plenty of subtlety. You just don't know it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Fall of the Roman Empire. I think it's right. This right here. That shot before this, inspired by like one of the films, like the Fall of the Roman Empire, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
It could be.
Yeah, there's a lot of inspiration from older stuff too. Yeah, and to be watched, it can also be watched as a silent film.
Yeah.
This movie is definitely the music.
I had to do that.
Thank you.
But I do love
Williams'
that
score is always the one aspect of these movies that is on point. I want to believe that old Johnny saw these movies and was like, okay.
Oh my god, I had to mute that.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, we got you.
You're lucky. Congrats.
Yes.
I just had to hit the M on my keyboard.
Oh, well, thanks. I'll remember that now.
Same.
Yeah.
I try to fix these as best as I can. But it is kind of unintentionally funny sometimes because you'll be visually looking at nothing happening in these movies, but the music will be popping the fuck off.
Yes, because they don't need dialogue.
George Lucas, that's the point of a silent film.
George Lucas made homages to silent films in certain scenes, like endings.
Yep.
Yes. I still need to watch Rick Worley's.
Oh.
Okay, this one he pitched. It
All
should
right.
be fine. Okay, that
cue that the Palpatine versus Mace Windu cue that was never in the soundtrack, but it was in the games. I don't know why they put that out. I don't know why they're putting the soundtrack out.
Like,
it's so fucking good.
Like the final boss in The Force Unleashed one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's just like, well, also he's saying that there's nothing happening. Well, those two are in the middle of serious situations. The first one is obviously, it's the final raging battle, which is taking place on 4 different occasions. And the other one is, well, Mace Windu's friggin' fighting Darth Sidious. Like, that's for tension.
In the way of praise, these movies honestly fail at almost every level of filmmaking. So,
everything okay?
Yeah, I just had to pause, go back to it. These movies, honestly,
and we also see we see that he stops in the middle. Like it was like an editing cue. Like he had to sync the music probably, so he had to keep that like clip of him walking instead of running because Well, yeah. Why would Anakin just stop and walk a little bit when he senses Palpatine is getting attacked?
Also, bear in mind, in all 6 films, the music that John Williams recorded, it's been edited and within the cutting room, within the editing rooms in each film because every film needs a proper edit in order to save the entire film itself. It explains the reason why that, like in the Phantom Menace, like where it's like Duel of Fate's been jumbled up into multiple pieces, is because the duel and also other battles going on is re-edited. The Mace Windu versus Palpatine duel. Why is the music the part where like why is the music that's supposed to play that's actually play why is the same music from where Palpatine like annihilates during the 3 Jedi Knights it repeats again but in a different pitch because the amount of material that John Williams wrote for that part doesn't fit properly. So
well, yeah, there you go. So there's your good explanation.
Watched A New Hope in. For the first time, I'm going to try to watch this movie with my fully evolved film brain.
No, it's not. It's not. It's definitely not. Yeah, because you're brainwashed by Red Letter Media. Okay.
We're sorry to say that. Yeah.
I'm going to pretend as if I have never seen this movie before. And
you did it.
You did, and
I don't think so, boy.
Yeah, if you pretend you're not gonna see it, you're still not gonna be open-minded to it, dude. Just give it up.
Anybody's bullshit detector just go off?
Mine did.
Same.
And right off the bat, the opening title crawl is just too much. Remember when I talked about how perfect the title
no, keep going. Yeah.
Crawl is in A New Hope? It's simple, effective.
Oh, of course! There it goes.
I was saying, wait for it. There's the word. Okay, so that's our. We're still keeping the track of the simple count, right?
I think that's like 6. Let me see.
Oh, because remember he actually missed one in the last video.
Mm-hmm.
That makes it 7 then.
I think so. Let me see.
Yeah. Because really, the title crawl does give us a lot of information, but so does that's what the purpose of the title crawl is for the writers to be able to dump a whole bunch of exposition for us, so that at least because there's a lot to explain in these movies anyway.
Yeah, I'm just writing it down on like a little note card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, don't be too long.
It's not. It's done already.
Mm-hmm. All right. So yes, really, it's not too much,
and it doesn't throw too much information at us. This is
because George Lucas wants to make a story.
Yes, a story.
He wanted to ease people into it in the beginning, all right, but really, again, it's meant to be exposition heavy, so that you at least get an idea of what's going on if you actually can process it, and take in part to the Disney title crawls where let's say you watch Return of the Jedi and decide to watch Episode 7 right after, and the first thing you get in that title crawl is Luke Skywalker is missing. And the rise of the First Order has happened, and so how is any of this stuff happening? And guess what? We barely get an explanation.
Yeah. And The Last Jedi, the First Order reigns. And after losing Star Killer Base, they go and strike.
Also,
immediately,
Rise of Skywalker's opening crawl.
The dead speak.
Basically, like the first sentence of each title crawl pretty much sums up the quality of each movie. Force Awakens, Luke Skywalker's missing. Last Jedi, the First Order reigns, and The Rise of Skywalker, the dead speak.
It's Luke Skywalker is vanished, not the Luke Skywalker is missing. Luke Skywalker has vanished.
Right.
Yes.
Well, you get the idea, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they took War out of Episode 3 opening crawl and just plastered that because they have nothing to do.
Oh man,
It's like, but no, this is poetry, and Disney films done worse.
okay.
This is the first paragraph in the Phantom Menace title crawl.
Turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic. The taxation of trade routes to outlying star systems is in dispute.
This is the first.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what I want to. I would say the same thing with the sequel trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, except if the title crawls weren't so laughably bizarre at times.
Yes.
Well, I mean, but still, again, like, turmoil has engulfed the Galactic Republic. Okay, so they're in dispute. The taxation of trade routes is in dispute because of the greedy Trade Federation.
Yes.
First indication of the tone of the movie. It's fucking boring. There are no
Politics boring.
It's only
Boring.
well, it's only boring if you don't actually pay attention. Maybe like I'm a person with ADHD, and I never lost focus on certain things. I mean, I didn't fully understand the things when I was younger, but
Of course we don't.
Yeah, of course, because it's the same. It's all the same.
And I saw this movie when it was re-released into theaters in 3D. We got the Darth Maul 3D glasses.
Yes, and that was a good time. That was
that was a good time
before the Disney Empire.
Come for me, who's an Aspie, no, that's not an excuse. Keep that in mind. I've saw Phantom Menace numerous times on VHS. Not to mention, I saw the 3D re-release back in 2012 before Luke sold Disney because
Same here.
Stop bitching about the special edition.
Boba Fett pajamas. Fucktards.
I understand what's going on. I didn't brush it off. I actually understand what's going on. I mean, even if I'm cinematically illiterate, I still understand what's going on. Like, I get it. I get what's going on. And that's actually even more further than I when playing Star Wars Obi-Wan on the Xbox, so.
Yeah. Let's go.
signs of life in this movie at all.
There are signs of life, stupid.
Well, maybe doesn't. There are times I feel when there's no signs of life in your voice.
No.
Also, 45 minutes. You could have done the same with the original trilogy. Oh no! They're perfect movies. This isn't the problem with you and your crony ass internet critics. You're cinematically illiterate. You didn't even watch Casablanca. I think when you try to view old movies like Citizen Kane and Casablanca, you always say, "Oh, it's well made. It's well made. Why? It's so boring, but still, it's enthralling. It's impactfulness. It's ponderous. The prequel trilogy just have it. It's boring. It's boring. The acting is still, bruh. George Lucas grew up with the golden and silver age and bronze age of cinema. Ben-Hur, The Wizard of Oz, Modern Times, the Charlie Chaplin shorts, and the what's that guy's name? Because I actually compared one Jar Jar Binks scenes to Charlie Chaplin. That was my mistake.
Yeah.
And actually inspired. But what's this guy's name? I forgot. But I didn't find out until I rewatched Rick Lori's video. That was bad memory on my part. But Modern Times, Metropolis, and foreign movies, and also Casablanca again, Citizen Kane, and How the West is Won, and Once Upon a Time in the West, and The Good and Bad and the Ugly, and the Ray Harryhausen movies.
I always see a lot of those
going.
Western influences too.
The performances are
Alright. Anything else?
Keep going.
stiff.
And
the lines are dry and lifeless, and the movie isn't even directed in an engaging way. Everybody kind of...
It is.
Show us examples.
Yes. Is there anything, any notes you have? Oh, you did pull out your notes. Oh, but yeah, you didn't. You don't do that.
If you want to experience dry, quote-unquote dry and lifeless dialogue or acting, just watch Casablanca. Just get it on DVD, because I got the Warner Home Video version of the original 1999 DVD release. I just watch it, regardless of picture quality. Just watch it understand what's going on. Granted, yes, it's a bit hard, especially when it comes to school, but and watch it numerous times and understand what Casablanca is supposed to represent. What it's supposed to represent, not just the dialogue, but how the setting, how the world interacts within the setting, and how this politics works here in Casablanca. But no. You want to concentrate on the bad dialogue and the prequels. And that's it. Because yes, dialogue can make or break a movie, but this right here is blatant over exaggeration.
And also, yeah, without actually showing clips of examples. So therefore, yeah, it's just him saying shit and then just showing different shit.
My God. Next one.
It talks the same, and it's really awkward. Like, who the fuck talks like this?
Normal people. There are George Lucas provide different alien species, different planets, different everything, and they talk differently. That's that's natural, dummy.
Also Marcus says the guy that you, Marcus, who joins this line. Well, I was going to Tachi Station to pick up some power converters.
Yes.
And also, I just love how he says, "Who the hell talks like this?" And then he shows alien senators. Like, okay, why would alien senators talk like a regular human being? They're aliens. Like,
yes.
Like, this is also what I hate. Like, Disney probably picked up on this crap too. That people said, "Oh, these aliens are racist because they sound stereotypical," even though that makes no fucking sense.
They're from a different planet. That's natural.
So therefore, let's make our aliens that we have in our movies actually sound like just people in costumes.
Lecture you into thinking this. Oh, right, Mr. Plinkett. But aside, who lectured you
and Disney will fix that problem. Those corporate dipshits at Disney will fix that problem for anybody who thinks that way.
Oh boy, Lord help me.
This is incredible. We recommend a commission be sent to Naboo to ascertain the truth.
The Congress administered concurs with the onward directives of the Trade Federation.
And he shows John C. Reilly falling asleep.
Honestly, that feels more like my reaction to this stupid video he's made.
Yep, right. I sleep on this bullshit.
It's just me rolling my eyes.
For me, it's more of the dumpster way. I sleep on this bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, the bullshit is this video.
Talking this weird, overly wordy way because they're like warrior monks. I kind of accept the fact that they talk weird.
Yes. In fact, you do have a valid point. Yes.
Stoicism.
Stoicism, yes.
Thank you.
They're monks that don't show the emotions can't have attachments to them. They show emotions on the inside and not the outside.
Keep in mind, not all Jedi. Keep in mind, though, most are stoic, and others, I assume Obi-Wan too, are not so stoic. I love Batman B from Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
But everybody fucking talks like this, except the Jamaican and the literal child.
Stop calling him a fucking Jamaican. I'm so fucking tired of
Fuck that. Fuck you, Cosmo cunt.
Stop. This is not the Mighty Quinn. You are not Denzel Washington. You are Marcus of Cosmonaut Variety Hour. Stop treating Jar Jar Binks as he is the
Jamaican. He's a Jamaican man. Shut the fuck up!
You might as well listen to Bob Marley music while you at it, because how racist you are, Marcus.
I would just put on Jar Jar Binks scenes and Bob Marley music comparison. It sounds completely different. How does it sound the same, dude?
No, it's not even
Mighty Quinn. So, the Mighty Quinn, so.
Yes.
And while they may sound different, their line delivery is on another fucking level.
You mean I get to come with you in your starship?
Because George Lucas wrote that. He wrote him as a kid. Jake Lloyd is like 10 years old.
Yes, and he did
Hold
exactly
on,
what George
hold
told him
on.
to do.
Hold on
And-
for a second.
Not to mention, years before, he was in Jingle All the Way.
Hold on
Remember
for a
that?
sec.
Yeah, I know that.
Hold on. I got.
Okay.
That's fine.
He was in Jingle All the Way, so... Put that cookie down! No! Oh, God.
Yeah, I know that. And the friggin' nostalgia critic made a joke about how I'm going to ruin Star Wars with my horrible acting. Like, fuck you, Doug, alright?
Also, the unusual suspect, even though
Okay, I'm back.
Anyway,
yeah, he was also in Jingle All the Way. Did you mention that Doug says, "Oh,
Yes,
in
I
Jingle
did.
All the Way"? Oh, he
Yes.
screams. He screams because he sees Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
okay, if
Yeah,
me,
that's aged well.
I'm seeing a 20th Century Fox. I'm seeing a Fox connection. Episode 1, oh, hello, reptile.
Hey, hi, Dragon Lover.
Hey.
Anyway,
Oh,
as what
okay.
I was saying, is it me? I'm sorry if I'm acting like George Lucas here, as pulling a conspiracy theory, but is it no politics, please? Is it me? I'm sensing a Fox connection when it comes to the Star Wars prequel? Jake Lloyd, Jingle on the Way, and here, young Anakin Skywalker in the Phantom Menace, Hayden Christensen, Goosebumps, Night Living Dummy Part 3, and also Higher Ground. Star Wars Episode 2 Attack Clones as Anakin Skywalker, and Revenge of the Sith, Anakin Skywalker. I'm sensing it here, and also Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill became a household name after A New Hope. Also the voice of Joker from Batman the Anime Series, which aired on I think it's aired on Fox.
Fox Kids originally, before going to the WB in around 95, 97.
I'm sensing coincidental connections here. A perfect match.
That is rather creepy, I must admit. There's just too many coincidences.
Yeah.
And now Fox is owned by Disney.
I pretty much missed the lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. Well, so it's
sorry.
That's all right.
Better version of Eve. This is a lot better than EFAP, I suppose.
Well, EFAP is just they do more than one video, I believe,
and they go on so fucking long.
At least they have timestamps, though. Cole told me.
Yeah, a guy gives you timestamps in the comments. Yeah.
Okay,
let's continue.
See, George has this weird problem where his dialogue is kind of the worst thing about his movies. I'm not lying, man. Even in the original Star Wars, the instant classic, his actors constantly made fun of him for his dialogue.
And then I started reading, and it seemed to me the dialogue was pretty ropey.
It's a true story. Harrison Ford, who plays the space pirate in the film, at one point threatened to tie George up and make him say his own lines at gunpoint.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Yeah, that was a joke. Like, it's Mark Hamill. He likes a joke a lot.
Hence why he was the Joker in Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, makes sense.
Also, what about Al Guinness before he passed away in 2000? What about Al Guinness about the dog being like quote unquote rugby? Was he joking?
I don't think he was. I think he was being serious with it about that.
Well, okay, maybe he was just in the minority, but still, maybe he just wasn't used to it at the time.
Yeah. Also, I found it interesting was on one of Anomaly's live streams, Rick said that the whole thing, Al Guinness hates Star Wars, the original trilogy at least, like a whole conception. It's actually the reason why he disses himself from Star Wars because he was a kid. He wants autograph, and it realized that he became such an iconic, pretty much an iconic figure for Star Wars. He fears that maybe one day it'll start the entire franchise will ingrain this child's memory, become always obsessed a fanboy, and realized that he can't. He doesn't want to. He's it's been months since it's been on one of the live streams. He kindly rejected the offer of the autograph. The kid got the kid cried, and his parents said like, "How could you?" and that stunned him. It's like, yeah, fuck it, because since now this is this is the mentality that they're going for. I just, and then want to ask me about Star Wars, I say, you know what, I'm just going to quietly distance myself after Return of the Jedi. So, because I love the role of Obi-Wan, but I just don't want to become just like every actor in Hollywood. So,
yeah.
And that's remember it. Bless you.
Bless you.
Okay. Oh, well, that's interesting then. That's interesting to know.
Then he had a team to help him fix up the script and make it sound like lines that real people would say.
There we go. There we go.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
3,
But
2,
before
1.
Star Wars should be simple. We just saw.
All right.
Okay, what point are we now?
All right.
Lines that real people would say. Star Wars should be simple. We just saw Han Solo talking like a regular fucking guy, and now all the characters talk like weird Shakespeare robots. And
all right, time for the clip.
Oh, well, hold up, rewind. What the fuck did you just say?
Star Wars should be simple. We just saw Han Solo talking like a... Star Wars should be simple.
Star Wars should be simple.
Star Wars should be simple. Go fuck yourself. Here's something you and the entitled, fanatical internet fucktards need to understand. Star Wars, or more specifically George Lucas's Star Wars, does not cater to your specific needs. It is an IP that belongs to someone else. It is their story, not yours. You don't get to dictate what Star Wars should and should not be. George Lucas is the author. You are the reader. You can't tell a creator how to create their own creation. Obviously, you can offer helpful criticism, there's nothing wrong with that. But I draw the line at idiots like you saying what Star Wars should and should not be. Now, by all means, you can use that line with the corporate dipshits at Disney, because they bought the IP from someone else. They did not create what they own, nor do they understand it. So criticize whatever you like, in whatever way you wish, when it's Disney, not George. And in addition to that, Disney is a clear-cut example of how the creative process can be fucked with by letting outside meta and fan demands dictate a story in one way or another, instead of allowing the story to grow organically and authentically as part of a singular creative vision.
Yes.
Yes. Exactly.
Well, yeah, everything that Anomaly says is basically, 100% applies to Star Wars and also to Sonic.
Yes.
Yep.
Right.
That's a word that I've heard people use to describe this dialogue. Shakespearean.
Well, people talk differently. It's natural. And Shakespeare had a lot of influence on George, especially that cringeworthy line in Attack of the Clones of what Anakin used.
Well, would that be...
Huh?
He was like using that Shakespeare line to Padme.
Also, I find it hypocritical. In Oliver Harper's retrospective of The Undiscovered Country, Star Trek 6. He mentions the scene where reference Shakespeare. A has no problems with that, while at the same time does not understand the prequel trilogy, which dialogue is not inspired by movies of the Golden and Silver Age, but also Shakespeare, which that's prevalent in Episode 2 with the romance between Anakin and Padme. And that same thing can also similarly apply to the original trilogy too. But no, you all just want to be know-it-alls and just want to focus on critiquing the surface visuals and nothing more.
This is what they think in a nutshell. They call me.
Thank you. Thank you.
I will not compromise. I will not be told what to do. I shall not step aside.
Go back and watch The Lion King, 1994, 2019 remake. Go back and watch The Lion King. You could, aside from the stupid accusation of being a Kimball the Light wine ripoff, it's inspired by Hamlet. Shakespeare.
Yes.
And even King Arthur.
And also the sequel, inspired by Romeo and Juliet.
Yep.
Hey, we'll get to that.
And also, Anakin and Padme's tragic, just like William Shakespeare's stories were.
Yeah.
Young Frankenstein.
But that's honestly using the word wrong, in my opinion. I've always seen a work as Shakespearean when we talk about how the actions of the characters dictate their emotions. It's less about what they say and more about how they feel. It's not just Shakespearean because they talk funny.
And neither...
Yeah. Well, then you just negated your own point then.
Yes.
Also, Clips from Lion King. Where's that at, huh? Where's that at, huh? It's inspired by Hamlet. Where's the Lion King? Where's Clips from Lion King? Where showcase Shakespeare-like dialogue, huh?
It's annoying, and it makes it impossible to connect to the characters. And this manner of speech makes it so that we never really know who these characters are on a deeper level, because none of these characters have character traits.
Yes, they do.
And I wonder where you got that point from, huh?
Mr. Plinkett, I want you to tell me who the main character of this movie is. Qui-Gon?
I want you to tell me who the main character of the Phantom Menace was. Also, to quote Dumpsville, nice grammar, Mr. Plinkett. Actually, no, nice grammar, Mike Stocklasa. Which I mean, you are dictating someone's work, which again involves a certain IP that you don't even fucking own. You don't even fucking get to dictate someone's creation, especially the special editions.
Yeah.
Oh God.
We already ripped him apart with that aspect, though, at least.
They also never talk about how they feel, and all of the dialogue is just to tell us what is literally happening in the story. Take all the dialogue
Okay, I don't understand what you mean by they don't tell us how they feel. What?
There is a lot of feelings in the prequels. You really don't see it.
Why would a character stop and talk about how they feel? Like, can't we just observe it ourselves?
Yeah, they're in an emergency situation. Like, they are their lives are in danger. Like, they can't go to Naboo because the Viceroy Gunray will kill them. And
continue.
And also, like, they can't stay on Tatooine for very long because the Hutts will eventually, and gangsters will eventually find them.
Yeah.
Also, those of you who are going to hear our writing characters, here's a tip. Here's a good tip. I may be wrong, but here's a tip. Single tip. When you're describing someone's feelings, do it visually. Describe it in the script visually as a visual element. Do not describe it as a dialogue element.
Yes.
Yes, it's show don't tell. Like, it's the basics of storytelling, and all these people just think, oh, it's not the same this way.
In this movie, and think about what their purpose is in the story. Two characters explaining where they are and what they're doing. Characters coming up with a plan. Characters coming up with a plan. Characters coming up with a plan and meeting someone new. Characters making a deal and coming up with a plan. Characters talking about the plot and what's happening.
Grasping at straws.
Yes.
Grasping at straws. A guy taking red letter media points, grasping at straws. This
is the plot of the movie. It's about saving Naboo from a greedy trade federation, and also like about meeting Anakin, who will eventually become Darth Vader.
Yep.
How he was inducted into the Jedi Order, and how Palpatine became Chancellor
and rose to power eventually.
Yes.
Also, if all you care about is the original trilogy, you won't know jack shit what Anakin was like before the events of Episode 4.
Yeah.
Or how Clone Wars came to be. Or how Obi-Wan and the relationship between Obi-Wan and Anakin came to be, or how Luke and Padme came to be.
Yes.
Like, George Lucas himself explicitly stated that Darth Vader, he was always seen as an intimidating character, but no, he was always meant to be a pathetic character. He was meant to be a tragic, a fallen hero.
Yes.
Basically, Anakin Skywalker is basically Frankenstein's monster in the prequel trilogy, and Darth Vader is the equivalent to Dracula or Vlad the Impaler in at the end at episode 3 to episode 6.
Yes.
Yeah. I see those ones.
I see the similarity, and Jeremy Johns actually talked about that when he started to understand the prequel trilogy.
Well, at least he understood.
And walked back on his words.
Bram Stoker's Dracula, shits on the prequel trilogy, but shills for the original trilogy and the sequel trilogy. And you never notice the similarities between Bram Stoker's Dracula and the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy, like Jeremy Johns took notice. Are you kidding me now, Oliver Harper? Are you kidding me? Anyway.
Okay.
Characters coming up with a plan. Characters coming up with a plan. Inappropriate flirting.
You're a funny little boy.
Characters coming up.
This is a hint of romance and the hints of how Leia and Luke were around.
He was infatuated. This is normal.
She's
some boys.
She's only about 5 years older than him. And little boys say strange things. All right.
Yeah,
they're naive.
Exactly.
Up with a plan. Do you see the fucking problem here? There are very few scenes.
Well, I see a fucking problem here. You're just using that saying, keeps repeating and repeating and repeating out of context.
Well,
you're not actually giving. You're just telling us stuff and not giving us enough context.
Of our characters being normal people and expressing emotions in this movie. There is legitimately only one scene of Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon talking to each other about anything that isn't the immediate plot. The only time they have a fucking heart-to-heart is at the end of the movie. For 99...
they had a heart-to-heart scene in Coruscant.
Yes, where, of course, Qui-Gon is defying the Jedi Council because they won't accept Anakin. Yes, because, it's their code to induct very young children in order to become Jedi. And
Qui-Gon doesn't follow the code always and is about to leave the Jedi Order.
Basically, he's a centrist. He doesn't care.
Yeah, and I heard
he through their flaws.
And also, I heard he fell in love before, too, in the expanded universe. So, this would influence Anakin a lot, and hence why Sidious feared him.
Yes. Why his death is a very tragic thing, and why also, this is something that Dave Filoni said about the Duel of the Fates song, is that it's essentially about the fate of Anakin. It's the duel of the fate for whether he will become a worthy Jedi or not, or if things will go wrong for it. I think that's correct.
And Maul is a key element of which Anakin will become. He's like a plot device.
Yes, he's a simple, silent badass that's a Sith who a Jedi hadn't fought for 1,000 years, as we're told, and that's why he's still effective and stuff.
Yes,
and people still complained.
Which led to Anakin becoming like him in Episode 3.
Yes, it's, again, more foreshadowing. You people just don't realize it.
Percent of the runtime, these characters have no relationship to one another, and we never...
You missed a lot, then.
Yeah, sure. Also, that shot looks awesome. A lot of these shots still look incredible. Yeah. Even for CGI, even for people to always complain about CGI and stuff and say, it doesn't look real and stuff. Well, it doesn't always have to look real. It just has to look. It just has to look pretty and stuff. It has to be pleasant to look at. Coruscant is still an incredible sight to behold, even many 20 plus years later.
It's basically George Lucas' equivalent to Blade Runner.
Yeah, I would love.
Really, I just wish we could have. And it just makes me so angry that we couldn't see more of it. We couldn't have seen more of the actual New Republic in the sequels because they had to fucking because they had to nuke it out
and cater to the prequel haters.
Learn how they feel about each other. Yet we're expected to care when this happens.
Oh my god. At least that was a laugh. You want to see it again?
Go for it.
Yeah. Right there.
This movie.
That's the only stuff I would laugh at in Cosmonaut's video is it's just like his editing.
Now, that's like just the most frustrating thing about Cosmonaut's videos is that he's like clearly a passionate editor. Like he edits videos incredibly well, and he has a good microphone and everything, and he has good jokes and stuff, but it's just his fucking criticism is just all over the place, and he just contradicts himself constantly.
Thank you.
The movie also has some of the most flat performances I've ever seen.
I don't fully understand. This is a strange place to me.
There is zero chemistry.
I don't see that as flat. I see that as her like just trying to take in the scenery and being awkward about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Like, Padme is meant to be awkward around Anakin. It's how romance works.
It's how she was brought into being a queen and stuff, because at a young age and stuff, and she's trying...
Oh, guys. I thought of something.
What?
What is it?
Makes you wonder, how come this guy hasn't gotten a girlfriend?
Because he's a soy boy male feminist. That's what he is.
Oh yeah, he had a girlfriend, but she liked the prequel trilogy, and probably they broke up soon afterwards.
Read about it. He read.
You can't even read.
Cosmonaut, you're such a soy boy.
Yeah.
Between any of these actors, zero. I mean, literally no chemistry. This movie.
There has
show
chemistry.
an example.
Show examples.
Yeah, I mean, the obvious thing is to show examples. Are there any moments like that? I mean, I may have not seen Star Wars, but you can definitely tell there was like some sort of chemistry.
Yes.
If only like this man would just actually stop, play a clip and everything that actually goes with the point that he's making. Like, yes, you can have opinions about movies that are different from others, but they have to be factually correct. Okay, you have to be able to back up your criticisms with factual evidence and with things that are actually legit that people can take seriously.
Is not fun to watch.
Okay, it's not
like
fun to watch like this video. Okay, you saying this movie is not fun to watch is an objective statement. While I find Star Wars: The Last Jedi such a torture for me to watch, and The Rise of Skywalker, and also with Sonic franchise, I find the Mecha Sally arc in Archie to be torturous for me to read, and the Zombot arc extremely torturous for me to read. But guess what?
Yeah.
It's not up to me. Because there are people out there who enjoy those kinds of stuff, and I have to respect that. And you should too, like it or not. Fun is subjective. And you're making an objective statement. It's just a point of me saying, go fuck yourself.
Also for
cheap
me,
and manipulative.
Also for me, I gave Quentin Tarantino's films a shot, starting with Kill Bill, even though I should have started with Pulp Fiction or Reservoir Dogs, but Kill Bill Volume 1. I'm not going to spoil them, but I find the Volume 1 tolerably shit. Because at least it's more tolerable. But for Volume 2, it was a pain, and I nearly fell asleep. And Pulp Fiction, longer than Volume 2, but it felt like it was, even though I was cringy in some parts, but at least it's a bit interesting than Kill Bill Volume 2. And I know there's a niche fan base for Quentin Tarantino's movie. I have to respect that, but me, Wolf, the real Wise Wolf, Cool Man, and Emperor, and to be grammatically correct here, but we don't. We're not in the Quentin Tarantino's movie. Cool Man's called the Tarantino movies trash. For me, I believe it was overrated. I haven't seen Reservoir Dogs yet, nor Jackie Brown, but but what I'm watching them so far, I found them overrated, especially Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill. So,
I'm actually inclined to agree with you on Kill Bill, Grant.
Same with me on Pulp Fiction, though, because Pulp Fiction, I was kind of feeling bored at times with this because, after the drug overdose scene, we just called it quits. But Reservoir Dogs was more interesting of the Quentin Tarantino movies.
Also,
I have yet to see that one.
Isn't me? Doesn't the argument so many? It's how can I say this? Like you gotta make 10 other movies. I don't know who started, Ralph the Movie Maker or Ray Lemieux. But 10. I got the criticism against movies like The Amazing Spider-Man 2 instance because they rushed the subplot between Harry and Peter because we gotta make 10 other movies. What is a film that also can be used that the argument of 10 other movies can be used against? Oh yes, Pulp Fiction, because it could I could graduate I could graduate that film for winning for best screenplay, but the screenplay is jumbled as fuck.
Yeah. Okay then.
Anyway, press on.
It's not even fun to make fun of.
Says the guy who's making this video.
Yeah.
Now, people have been making fun of this new scene from The Rise of Skywalker because of this particular line.
Oh, they fly now! They fly now! They fly now!
Oh, it's too...
Just them repeating the line out 3 times.
Yes.
Shit writing.
And also, these jump troopers came from before The Rise of Skywalker. For example, they appeared in the Force Unleashed video game, which I played back in 2010, and I was like, wow, there's flying stormtroopers in the Force Unleashed.
They fly now! Like, bruh.
Wow, they've already been introduced. Why pretend they are introduced in this movie?
Also, because why actually care when making a stupid joke?
Yeah.
And shock troopers. They have jetpacks. Jet troopers and shock trooper. I think it's called jet troopers around.
Yeah, jet troopers.
And shock troopers. This is nothing new. Oh no. We gotta make an MCU like me. Oh, they fly now. They fly now. Bruh, that's just basic Twitter. This is basic pandering to Twitter or to make a meme. Just like I don't know. Sonic Mania Adventures, Team Sonic Racing Overdrive, Tyson Hesse's team when it comes to Sonic, Aaron Weber. Yeah. That sounds awfully familiar. That's totally coincidence. I think not. It's the same bullshit, and we, including Jeb2, are tired of this.
Yeah. Also, what else is but it's not as bad Marvel dialogue with the Ben Swallow scene, with Daisy Ridley doing a reply saying, "Okay, do you have a towel or something to cover up with?"
Yes, something like that.
And the awkward pause of Kylo Ren being shirtless.
Tumblr. He made a video of it too. This still gets me. Yeah, but long story short, it's just bad. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Marvel dialogue. Okay. Yeah.
Because it is Marvel dialogue.
Yes, it's Disney. What'd you expect?
It's they're a corporate entity. They'll make corny jokes all the time.
I'm always angry. This is before Disney. This is just Film Adventures, but Disney. But how can I say? You should have gone for the head.
And then Thor went for the head in the next movie.
Yeah. Also, and also that line Captain Marvel said in one of Captain Marvel trailers. I'm going to end it. What? Are you going to end it with your feminism? Fuck off.
Oh man, he's losing it.
Just like gold. Not like gold though, but okay. Let's continue.
Yeah, whatever. Let's talk about this for a second, though.
Up, grasping at straws for why sequels work. Sequels good, prequels bad.
Yep.
It's always sounding caveman-ish.
Wait a minute.
Chase scene.
What?
That same weapon that she used in Force. How did she get back? How did she lost that weapon? And wait, how the? Oh wait, I don't know. Let's better watch this movie.
Oh no, because she's Mary Sue-ish. There.
Yeah,
simple as that.
It's just shit. It's just shit writing inconveniences.
Right? It's broken.
Yeah, I wish Rey still had her hair from like the Last Jedi though.
Well, she was meant to have a different look in Colin Trevorrow's version, but nah, they had to say no.
Kathleen Kennedy just makes bad decisions all the fucking time.
Couldn't even write notes properly. Her note taking is so shit. It makes my shit note taking look good.
Yeah, because she says, "Oh, the draft for The Last Jedi is a masterpiece."
No wonder she got revenge. After seeing her husband, Frank Marshall, gets to be the forefront, gets to direct movies like Alive, Arachnophobia, and now KK being in the sideline. Somewhere, somehow, when I'm going to be in the forefront, I'm going to end melanism and feminism because I'm going to end it. That's sadness.
Gracious.
Fucking
all this shit. Okay.
Anyway, a chase scene from this movie. Our heroes are going to be eaten by a giant monster. I wonder how they feel about this. Oh, they don't really care.
Because they're Jedis. They're not.
Yeah, they're meant to be. They're meant to be calm and stoic. That's how they're trained. And at least they didn't go.
Again,
no, they swim now. They swim.
Again,
now.
when you think about it, the last thing you want to do is panic in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So,
and Jar Jar is panicking. Yes.
So there you go.
And it's also a funny scene too.
I'll say this right now. I like to think Jar Jar represents some of these people in the audience who will react in that way too.
Yeah, I would react that way.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, same.
Oh, me not don't like this. Me not don't like this. What we gonna do? We gotta
react to that stuff going on.
Exactly.
These characters just can't be bothered to give a shit at all.
Just relax.
Neither can you about criticism.
Yes. And the Jedi are telling him, like, it's going to be fine. We'll get to land soon.
Like, yes.
That's quite gonna be.
That's how they're trained. Okay.
Okay, yeah, man, I won't worry. Even when they're planning the final battle, they don't care.
They do! They do! You dumbass! They're trying to restore Naboo from the invasion.
Tried to fight to keep this planet under. They try to fight this planet from being sieged from this stupid trade federation, led by.
They're coming up with a plan.
And coming up with a plan.
I gotta go like this. Oh wait, you gotta do this. I don't know what I'm doing.
And says the guy who says characters coming up with a plan so many fucking times without using any fucking context whatsoever.
Have mercy.
You have no mercy.
Never mind.
You shouldn't have a problem.
Oh yeah, won't be a problem. No use in me being emotionally invested. The movie has low stakes, low energy, and it really doesn't allow you to engage with it in the same level that you would with any other Star Wars movie. So yeah, personally, I'll take these corny, energetic performances over this shit any day of the fucking week, but hey, that's just me. So anyway.
Yeah,
you're right. Yes, you're right. Thank you for giving us a subjective statement. That's what we want.
Cool.
Great, people are throwing fireworks outside.
Yeah.
Objectively, you show no mercy on these prequels, Marcus. No mercy whatsoever. You just want to regurgitate all the time without coming up with your own opinions. Enough said. Lovely. What the fuck? Press on, please.
Anyway, let's talk about the actual plot. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have never known the plot of this movie until now. Most of the times when I watch this movie, it's with friends where we just quote the awkward or funny moments until we get bored and turn it off halfway through. But as far
Wow, you're so fucking pathetic, dude. How are you not fucking embarrassed by this shit? What you just said.
You're lying. You're clearly lying.
I feel like this is bullshit. I feel like this is bullshit because he's still taking advice from Red Letter Media or Retarded Lard Media. Is that what I'm gonna call it?
Yes, me too.
You're clearly lying, Marcus. You clearly grew up with the prequels. Don't lie to us.
It's just the influence of all these people is what causes all this toxicity. Like, why can't we just live in a civilized world where people just don't say stupid things that influence others, and then they end up saying stupider things, and then everything just goes wrong.
I like to call this the trigger effect.
Now it's just a domino effect that essentially people have to take what others are saying seriously just because they think what they're saying is the right thing.
Right, that effect?
Like, we got fantastic content and review from the Star Wars prequels that they suck.
As far as the plot goes, I am only just now piecing it together after having watched this movie for 20 years. That is not-
You're so fucking this is so embarrassing. Okay. I understand the plot, like, after watching it many, many, many times.
Same.
Seriously, you can literally watch these types of movies, the movies that you actually enjoy, and, well, you wouldn't really have much to complain about since you do find them entertaining. I mean, that's the point of movies, right? You find a movie that you like and you find entertaining and such.
Like, I gotta say this, even as a kid, I didn't understand the full context of certain things, but I would still understand the basis of the plot of them trying to take back Naboo and everything. And for a grown-ass man in his mid-20s or something to say that after 20 years he can finally understand the plot, you should be fucking embarrassed by that.
Yeah,
I'm a person with ADHD, and I doze off a lot with certain movies, but yet I still always. But it's only for movies that I'm not as interested in. But I mean, it is still a problem I have. But I actually, if I were to do critiques and stuff, I'd actually have to watch them through a movie thoroughly in order to friggin' understand it.
Good point.
Yeah. Instead of just one and done.
Yeah. That's like Mr. Plinkett. Also, Marcus, you understand the plot for 20 years? You understand the plot for 20 years? Are you fucking kidding me, Marcus? Look, I have Asperger's, no excuse, but I understand the movies since I was around 5 to 6 years old.
Me too! I have freaking Asperger's. I have freaking autism. And you know what? I may not be a Star Wars fan, but I am not going to be this cryptic about it.
I understand them. I get it. Visually, I get it. Granted, I'm not as critical as I was when I saw them when I was a child, and also my preteens, but I understand them and appreciate what George Lucas is trying to tell us visually in terms of story within the visual elements. But no. You gotta understand them once instead of multiple times. Also, Marcus, you claimed, quote unquote, that you understood them on your own after if I remember correctly. After seeing it with your friends and shutting them off times. Yet, you said you understand it after 20 years, but you clearly grew up watching the prequels in theaters and on home video before you've been soy bored to death and been brainwashed by red letter media. Marcus, I hate to say this, but you indirectly contradicted yourself here.
Right, just another contradiction to add to the list.
It's just contradictory after contradictory after contradictory.
Where's
the self-awareness with this man, honestly?
I don't even fucking know, really.
Not a good sign. But hey, maybe it's just me, right? Maybe I'm the dumbass who just doesn't get it. So
Of course you are!
Yes, we are accepting the dumbass.
Alright. I'm watching The Phantom Menace, and I'm just now realizing that I do not know the plot of this movie. Could you guys actually explain the plot if you were to ask too? Be honest.
after having watched this movie, if you knew the plot of this movie, and most of you didn't.
Oh my god!
Wow, you people fucking disappoint.
People are just going to agree with you. It's not really a high bar, dude.
I'd say that like Cosmonauts fans are just like they're brainwashed by his own stupidity.
They must be watching someone else. I just like you said, Cole.
It's smart people. Just play it smart.
Now, I know what some of you are say, but Grant, it's a bad mess where I don't care. You are misunderstood. You're clearly misunderstanding what George Lucas is trying to represent of the prequels. That's why I label the prequels as misunderstood films. Not because the prequels misunderstood themselves. No, they're misunderstood because the prequels are so good, but people, for some retarded ass reason, think this alienates what I'm trying to tell George to do. No, this should be like the original trilogy. It should be like the original trilogy without even realizing, without even giving 1 second of cerebral brain cell to think that the prequels are supposed to tell a backstory, Anakin's backstory before he became Darth Vader. Not to mention, George Lucas, OG6, all the 6 films are inspired by the movies he grew up with in Flash Gordon, Commando, Cody, and other serials. Coming from me, who's also semi-illiterate, but it baffles my mind that these people always goes by the rooster and not fend for themselves and come with their own opinions.
Well, I think Anomaly said it well, is that they're just afraid of the ridicule, or they think that it demeans them. It means that I don't think that's the right word, but it just means that they are afraid of not being taken seriously because of that. And then, that also disappoints.
And he puts LOL in the bottom. Just to say, yeah. You know what? That's not a high bar, really, dude. It's not.
Shit, that's low.
People are being just sarcastic and just hitting at for a joke.
Maybe.
Hope.
I actually expected most of you guys to lie or just check the wiki, but no, you guys are pretty honest for once. And I don't think this is because the plot is overly complicated. I mean, it is, but that's not why we don't understand it. It's because the plot is not conveyed properly to the audience. For a movie that's mostly just our characters...
That exists.
You can't even read!
telling us what they're going to do and then doing that thing with no diverging paths, this movie is really bad at conveying what the story is. The story is presented to us in a way where we cannot understand it unless we can read the minds of the characters. In this movie, information is conveyed.
No, that's stupid. No. What? I don't even know what the fuck he's on about.
Neither does any of us do.
I'll make it clear.
I don't think you need to read anyone's minds to understand what's going on.
I'll make this clear. Did this guy smoke before doing this video?
You can tell he drank. He drank, he smoked, he weeded himself, drank some Monster energy drink. Before he watched the Plickett reviews.
Okay, that's just death right there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything like towards him that way. It's
sorry about that, but
he just looks.
Let's not. I'd rather not.
Yeah, that's kind of a little bit too much.
Yeah. Bit death thready. Blech. Sorry about that.
Okay, well, let's go.
Please.
Fade in a very strange and vague way. Take, for example, the scene where Anakin is being interviewed by the Jedi Council. They ask him some random questions, and then they say, sorry, he's evil, we cannot train him.
No, that's not what
he's not saying he's evil as an excuse, you retard. They're saying that because of his high midichlorian count, and that he is, quote-unquote, too old.
Yes, they have a strict code of inducting Jedi in at a very, very young age.
Like, the older you get, the more attachments you have.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jedi aren't allowed to have attachments because their feelings will cloud their judgment and get in the way of certain things, and well, it will lead to suffering, as Yoda foreshadows.
And that foreshadows the end of episode 3.
Yep.
Oh god.
Also, Marcus, information conveyed by the characters is vague. Even though the fucking dumbass like you doesn't even understand this is nothing new, it can be applied to the original trilogy too.
Yes. Who are the Empire? What is it? What is their goal and motivation? How did they build the Death Star? Huh?
They say they sense fear in Anakin, and that is the main reason why he's not to be trained. So you're telling me you expect the kid to just not be scared at all? Wouldn't it make more sense to train someone to be less fearful than to just expect them to have the emotions of a Jedi once they get here? They know he's strong in the Force, but they still tell Qui-Gon that he can't train him. But what's the alternative? Just send him back home and hope he doesn't harness his inherent Force powers? And Qui-Gon just says, oh, I'm just going to train him anyway. You're just allowed to do that? You can just do whatever you want? If you can do that, then why does anybody ask for permission?
The boy is dangerous.
Okay, but why? Literally just tell us why. Somebody please tell me something. Please, sir, may I have some movie?
They'll get it.
Yeah, you have movie, dude.
And yet Marcus says he wants more. Something more was going on, but he doesn't understand that this voice is vague. It's so vague. It's trying to get this movie done and over with, and in a superficial amount of information being told, so the viewers can have a better understanding without being overloaded or underloaded with exposition. This guy doesn't understand anything. How a movie's supposed to fucking be written.
And Anomaly's here to say hi to us.
Hey,
Anomaly.
Whoa. What?
Watto.
Oh. Oh, okay. Damn it, you got me.
This is the problem I have with these. He doesn't understand how screenwriting, how world building and character development works. It's not even complicated.
And hashtag Star Wars should be simple.
Oh, what? Okay, what else does this soy boy has to say? Star Wars should be simple because we get to know what Han Solo is supposed to be. We get to know what Chewbacca is. We get to know what Luke Skywalker is. We get to know what Ben Kenobi is. We get to know what the droids are.
You get to know what the Death Star's plans and such are.
Star Wars should be simple. That's not a real way to give compliment towards the original trilogy. That's I don't know. I don't fucking know. Much simplicity. Where's my 2.0 excuse?
Just an argument that he pulled out of his ass. I don't know the fucking point.
Look at the finer details of the movie. There's shit that just doesn't make any sense. For instance, why would you bring Anakin to a war zone? Qui-Gon already has.
Okay, that's something that is proven to be quite valid.
If Qui-Gon could have told the other could have told the other Naboo soldiers to escort Anakin to stay replaced, that'll make it more sense. But yeah.
Well, then he wouldn't have been able to blow up the control ship then and save the Gungans, but well, that's just his midichlorian count.
Well, it's because Qui-Gon told him when they were about to leave Coruscant, he says, "I can't train you, but you can watch me do something. Watch my skills."
Well, he just wanted him to stay out of trouble, really, but yeah, I feel like he didn't do the best job.
Yeah.
No. And
in
that
fact,
didn't...
and would have gotten into more trouble if it wasn't for him actually being good at piloting the ship, for that matter.
And tragically, that didn't last long.
Hoo boy. Well, yeah.
He's an apprentice, and now he just grabbed another one and brought him along to the war.
He wasn't gained apprenticeship for Anakin.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan was at the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they didn't grant him that yet. Okay.
Anakin, stay where you are. You'll be safe there.
Yeah.
But I...
Stay in that cockpit.
You stay here.
But Rick!
No buts.
Also, why would you go down to Naboo in separate ships? It's kind of a throwaway line, and it ends up not mattering in the long run. But
they won't get spotted.
Yes.
Yes, they won't. So they won't get spotted from them. There's like
they got the ventilation shaft.
There's like thousands of battle droids right there.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah, how do you expect that?
What else? Yeah. What other options have they actually got?
From a logistical standpoint, it doesn't make any sense. You guys could just go on the same ship.
Did he just try to sound like Plinkett there? Oh.
I don't know.
No Plinkett, please.
Really fucking lucky they parked next to each other. What does Palpatine want?
Because they're gonna invade the palace.
Yeah.
And the city of Theed.
Mm-hmm.
Want to accomplish with this fucking trade blockade? This is his most roundabout and
It's so that Palpatine can gain power. He doesn't even give a shit about space trade, dude.
No, he is.
If Newt Gunray was to kill Padme, he wins. But if Padme comes to Coruscant and overthrows Valorum, Palpatine wins.
Yes, Palpatine had to improvise in order to become the Chancellor.
And get rid of Valorum out of office.
Yes, well, because the Senate was corrupt. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Complicated plot ever, and he's already known
most
for that.
Complicated plot ever. That is like the best fucking story ever told, dude.
It makes sense, though, if you actually think about it.
Yes, it makes fucking sense.
Lot of sense, mind you.
Star Wars needs to be complex.
But it also needs to be simple, according to this man.
Yes.
He has no problem with killing the Jedi in the beginning, but he's just going to try and convince Padme politely to accept his terms. He doesn't have any problem trying to kill her in the later movies. I don't understand this.
We'll get to that.
Oh, we'll get to that because that'll be saved for another. That will be saved in the next 4
what does
minutes.
He even want? I always found it strange that Palpatine's ultimate goal is to just be president and rule everything.
Okay, Cosmonaut, lay off the politics, will you? Lay off the politics. Lay off the real life politics.
Because he wants to rule with the iron fucking fist. That's because because why the fuck not?
I'm sorry.
It builds up to the fucking empire, dude.
Yep.
Cosmonaut.
Stop comparing him to a president. The president has nothing to do with a corrupt, fictitious politician like Palpatine trying to have gain in the Senate.
It seems like a really simple-minded goal for someone who's supposedly.
Oh, there it is. Yes,
there it is.
Yeah, simple-minded goal. There we go.
So wise and attuned to the Force. Normally, I don't really care if a villain's motivations are simplistic.
Simplistic, yep. There, another count. Always, Star Wars should be simple.
Star Wars should be complex. Simple-minded.
The Cosmonaut is making me hate that word.
Make that quote for me. No, Star Wars should always be simple because fuck complexity.
No development needed.
Just themes.
Is this fucking straw manning us? At this point.
Especially in Star Wars. But this is a movie that's trying to be more complex than the previous films, and it's just not very good at it.
Because George Lucas is evolving with his directory, with how he's creating things.
Yep.
Yes. Can you provide more examples?
Of all three of these movies revolve around Palpatine's schemes, and his schemes never make any sense.
They make perfectly sense, you fucktard!
Yes, he's playing both sides so that he comes out victorious.
Also, you praising the originals never gave two shits about his plans in Return of the Jedi, especially The Empire Strikes Back. But now, you all of a sudden you take those his plans only on the prequel trilogy and call them shit. He's a puppet master. He's a groomer. He's a mastermind. It's not that hard to get the idea of what Palpatine, or aka Darth Sidious, is trying to represent.
Also, Episode 1. Either invasion, kill Padme, or overthrow Chancellor Valorum so he can take his place.
A vote of no confidence.
Episode 2. Orchestrates a clone army secretly.
Take control of it with emergency powers.
And while he also had Count Dooku gather the Separatists and he sets Dooku and the Separatists up. And also the Jedi and Dooku and the Separatists want to kill each other. According to Palpatine's plan, he likes seeing people killing each other. And then which starts the Clone Wars.
Which serves as a distraction so that Palpatine can find a way to take control of not only the entire Senate, but the galaxy as a whole. In Episode 3, you want Anakin to kill Count Dooku so he won't interfere.
Yes.
Because that will fuck up his plan, and Dooku was about to kill Palpatine.
Yeah, he was going to overthrow him.
Not to mention, he told Anakin to leave Obi-Wan because Anakin will be the perfect candidate over the new apprentice, and B, Obi-Wan serves no purpose other than distraction. But Anakin said, and an ironic echoing foreshadowed sense, his fate is the same as ours. Obi-Wan died in Death Star, Anakin and Emperor died in Death Star. And not to mention, also when General Grievous questions but the loss of Count Dooku. He hints that he will find a new apprentice, which he already did. And furthermore, coincidence or not, Grievous said this: "Army or not, you must realize you are doomed."
Yes.
And that's what. Minutes later, after Grievous is dead, and after Mace Windu was thrown out the window through the window, and entitled Anakin as Darth Vader,
the purge began.
Mm-hmm. And that's how he takes control of the galaxy.
6.
There you go. There you have it.
And then killed.
And then after the purge, he goes to the Senate gathering again and announces that he will create the Empire.
Yes.
Empire.
Yeah, there's your overly complicated and nonsensical plan, Cosmonaut.
And furthermore, conversely, in A New Hope, which shall not be referred to as Star Wars anymore, A New Hope, also has just received word that the Emperor is dissolving the Council permanently. The last remnants of the old Republic has been swept away. Regional governors will now have direct control of their territories. He eliminated the old Republic entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and it's now called the Imperial.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we got that off our chest.
That was a mouthful of us.
I just did the Yoda right there. Didn't I?
Mouthful of us we were.
Yep.
There's also this thing with the prequels where you can sometimes take a single line and try to analyze it, and it just doesn't make any sense from a simple writing perspective. I'm serious. This is
simple. He said simple again. Oh yeah.
Is that what 9 or 10 times?
That's probably the 10th time.
Oh, here we go, Simple Mark.
You make me happy.
Okay.
Every single one of these movies.
A communications disruption can mean only one thing: invasion.
No, it doesn't. You're telling me that if your communications get messed up, the only reason is that you're being attacked?
Yes. It makes perfectly sense. The battle droids had to cut off their communications.
So that they can't call for help. What else?
Also, I have Dad's nearby, so. Press on, please.
Alright.
Made a commitment to the Jedi Order, a commitment not easily broken.
Not easily broken? You mean not easily maintained. The oath itself is very easily broken.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
But Obi-Wan, that in itself is an absolute statement. George is not good at writing dialogue. It would be very funny.
Well, sometimes, I'll admit sometimes he's not, but there's a lot of great dialogue in these prequels. People only like to strawman towards the memeable stuff and just call it bad. That's it.
And some of the parts in which Anakin's Shakespearean talk, Shakespeare-esque talk, was pretty cringeworthy.
It's only some of the romantic stuff I don't like, but other than that, I don't find the dialogue that bad. I've heard worse dialogue in other movies. Okay.
If it wasn't so sad. And I should now probably mention the one thing people say is the biggest problem with this movie. Jar Jar. Honestly,
of fucking course. Okay, just dive down the rabbit hole, please. Go ahead.
That honestly should be on his list of regurgitated prequel hate. Just trash Jar Jar, because why not?
I just don't understand the hate behind Jar Jar.
I mean, people only just hate him because he's annoying, apparently, but he's pivotal to the plot.
It's called, have you ever heard of a comic relief?
Yes. There's much worse, all right?
Yes.
other issues in this movie are actually worse than Jar Jar. Lifeless performances, bad dialogue, a convoluted plot, and an overall lack of direction are all things that I hate way more than one dumb character.
Can you just show us Can you just show us? Please, just show us.
It's that simple. Just show us the freaking proof.
No,
do you
don't
pretty
say
much give? You expect us to take your word for it, man? No, we do not. You're just saying things because you felt like it. Do not the way I am talking like this, but I feel as though it's necessary.
Of course.
That doesn't work. Just
Makes
stating
more
the point,
sense
man.
than Anakin's. The worst thing about Jar Jar is that you literally cannot understand what he's saying. I watched this.
I believe he pretty much does speak perfect English in his own way.
Yes, exactly. People talk differently. Each alien species, each people from different planets talk differently. It's called race.
Not the species. Species speak different language.
Races, ethnicity. There you go.
Etc. I mean, why do you think? Oh, I don't know. Chewie's race, the fucking Ewoks.
Like the Wookiees speak.
Jabba the Hutt.
Wookiees speak like.
Like so, etc. It's supposed to be unique to different species.
Yeah, it's to make them stand out amongst others. Like, yeah, so that they actually sound like aliens and stuff. Like, what, you want them to always sound like a guy
Why? That just makes it boring, completely English.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I noticed that the sequel trilogy and even in The Mandalorian, there's aliens that just talk like normal people when they look like they shouldn't.
Because it's corporatized, because Disney listens to prequel haters.
They always listen.
Yep.
Yeah.
This movie with subtitles for the first time, and I only now, 20 years later, have understood what the fuck Jar Jar has been saying.
Mesa day starting pity okie day with the brisky morning munchin', then boom!
I have no fucking clue what you just said, but hell yeah, man, I'm gonna speak my truth.
But
that would be funny if it wasn't so sad.
Yeah, I mean that editing was funny though.
Of course.
Despite this, they actually need Jar Jar around for most of the movie. I really hate admitting it, but he's so integral to this dumb-ass story that you kind of need him here more than you need the other characters. However, it doesn't make any sense that you bring him into Mos Eisley with Qui-Gon and not Obi-Wan Kenobi, one of the main characters. Actually,
yes, to watch the ship. Jar Jar is more of an exploration kind of guy.
Well, he wouldn't be good in being in charge of the ship. Like, yeah, he's an imbecile.
Yeah, he's curious.
Also, Marcus says this is Mos Eisley. No, it's not. This is not Mos Eisley. This is Mos. What's that last word?
It's Mos Espa, I believe.
Mos Espa.
Yeah,
it's where Anakin lives.
How do you get?
Yeez, even I knew that as a child. Oh my god.
Take that back. I can't even say he's a main character in this movie. It is truly baffling.
Of course, Plinkett point. It always has been the Jedi who are main characters in the prequels. Qui-Gon.
It's like this. It's like this, okay? Like, yeah, they're playing the role of the droids from A New Hope, who are eventually at first start out as a vessel for us to witness the world and everything, but then the story does have more focus on Padme and on Anakin too, but yeah, they are still the main characters because, as Anomaly said, this isn't really exactly a character-driven story, it is a setting-driven story.
And I could say the same thing about A New Hope. I said it.
Well, yeah, because, there isn't as much character development. Yeah.
And he says, "Oh, we're just driving characters right away." Well, A New Hope is a setting-driven story too. Character-driven stories go into sequels, not the trilogy, but sequels to the first part of the trilogy.
All right, then.
Explain to me how small Obi-Wan's role is in this movie.
Yes, of course. Because after Qui-Gon dies, the rest of the trilogy transitions to Obi-Wan as the main character.
Mm-hmm. It's different, but it works.
I think the only reason people are moved by Qui-Gon's death is because Qui-Gon gets way more screen time. He's closest to being the main character.
It's because he is!
Yep.
And just think about how much characterization Obi-Wan has in episodes 2 and 3.
He is the main character after Qui-Gon dies for the rest of the trilogy.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
In episode 2 and 3, you find out that he doesn't really like flying that much. That's kind of a cute character trait. I wish he had traits in this movie. The only character with traits...
He does have traits.
You just have to pay attention.
In this movie is, again, Jar Jar. So yeah, while Jar Jar is really awkward and a fucking stupid addition to the movie, he's the...
Again, comic relief.
Mm-hmm. It's still pivotal to the story.
You always need... You gotta have comic relief in a story.
Well, it doesn't always have to be that way. It's just that, well,
it's a nice addition to have a comic relief.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Only thing in the movie that feels real. Whenever I watch this movie and he shouts this line, I seriously wake up from the coma that this movie put me in. If he wasn't in the movie, I legitimately think the movie would be worse. Think about it. It would just be these dry humans delivering
people actually
boring...
would have liked it without him, honestly. So therefore, yeah, you're wrong.
Dialogue. It would be so boring that I don't think I'd be able to sit through it. Honestly, in order to fix this movie, you would need to reformat the entire plot. Everything is broken. Most people agree that the biggest problem here is that you can just delete this whole movie from the trilogy and it changes nothing. A lot of Star Wars viewing guides actually recommend that you just don't watch this movie.
Then
fuck those guys. Honestly, fuck them.
Fuck that. Yeah, it wouldn't make sense if you're gonna skip this. Really?
Okay, you need, because then you won't know how. You won't know how Anakin was inducted into the Jedi Order. You won't know how Palpatine was bringing in the Supreme Chancellor. You won't know how Queen Amidala got in her position in the Senate, and you won't know how
Anakin and Padme met.
Yes, why he has an affection for her, because in the beginning of the Attack of the Clones, he's saying, "I haven't seen her in 10 years."
And Doug Walker says, I feel like the episodes 1 and 2 are pointless. Episode 3, you already see him in love. You already see the Chancellor going into trying to take power.
Yeah, it just makes me laugh every time.
How sad is that? The spin-off movies are...
How sad is this video?
Yes. Oh my god, and I realized we're only 18 minutes into it, too.
Are equally useless in the grand scheme of things, but those movies are fun and a little experimental, so I don't really mind them. They don't really hurt anybody by existing.
Okay.
Well, Solo hurts a lot of people, I've heard.
Okay, Rogue One and sorta Solo are a bit experimental, but yeah, these guys are behind George Lucas originally.
In my opinion, Rogue One is good, but I feel could have been a little better. Solo is just, it looks fine, but it's ultimately pointless, really.
But you do have the same guy from Willow, another one of George Lucas's big projects.
Yeah.
Davis?
Yeah. Ron Howard directed that movie.
Yeah. And he's also, Ron Howard was also in Graffiti, so...
Yeah.
So, yeah, nice to see him in director's position for this movie, then. Makes sense. But onto the video now.
This movie really hurts my feelings by existing. It just genuinely bothers me.
This video hurts my fucking
it.
feelings.
There's no main character.
There is a main character, and this is a setting-driven story. And I could say the same thing with A New Hope. Never gonna repeat that again.
Characters that are in this movie don't have any traits or personalities, and if you try to break this movie into a beginning, middle, and end, you would have trouble finding out where each part begins.
Act 1. The Jedi are called onto a ship for negotiations, but are fended off and land on Naboo, where they find a local, but then go and rescue the Queen, almost get blown up in a blockade, and then they can't get to Coruscant, so they have to land on Tatooine. That's Act 1. Act 2, they land on Coruscant,
No, that's Tatooine.
What did I say?
You said Coruscant. They land on Tatooine and meet a young boy.
Meet a young boy. Act 2, they win Act 2, they gamble on him, they win him in a pod race, and then they are able to get to Coruscant. They try and negotiate about it, but the Senate is corrupt, so they elect Palpatine as the Chancellor, and so Padme opts to take back her home by force. And then Act 3 is the big epic climax of them taking back everything. Yeah. Like, the Gungans fight the droids on the ship, Padme tries to get the Viceroy, the Jedi fight Darth Maul, and Anakin blows up the control ship, Qui-Gon dies, everyone celebrates, and then the end. And then, and also Obi-Wan is put in charge of,
Anakin.
Mentoring Anakin. Yeah, the end. That's 3-act structure. I don't know what's so hard about that.
No.
Nothing in this movie works at all.
There are things in this movie that work.
Nah, well, I'd say the same thing about this video. Nothing in this review honestly works.
This one is a really big disappointment, and if I was an adult when
Your video is a really big disappointment.
I
watched this movie, I don't think I would even like Star Wars anymore. And the worst part
that's
is,
just your opinion then.
Yes. And he's sounding so soy now.
We still have 2 more movies to go. 3 out of 10. I hope it doesn't get any worse than this.
Can we make a part 2 this live stream?
Basically,
I think we will. We will.
You know what? I think we'll end it here then.
It's like, oh my gosh, it's actually really late where I am.
Yeah.
Okay, so next part will be Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. We'll try not to
prolong it for too long. But yes, this was actually
or we could start earlier and take breaks in between.
Mm-hmm.
We could, yeah.
Yeah.
So far, it's been a lot of fun ripping into this asshole.
Yes. But we could do it tomorrow, I think.
Yes.
If we have the time, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, take care, everyone. Watch your motion source Sky High.
Take care, everybody.
Don't
listen to Cosmonaut. Don't listen to Red Letter Media. Don't listen to Chris Stuckman, Doug Walker, or any other prequel haters. Go by what you think. Don't be influenced by the internet. Go by what you think of a movie. Don't get bullied, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. All right, you are okay. You can like what you like.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He already ended it while I was in the middle of my tangent.
Well, no. Bandicam's still on.
Okay. Well, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You love what you love, and that makes what makes you you. Dang it. I'm trying to word it a little better.
Okay. Good time.
Yes. All right, so this is Mr. Tyrex.
And Cool Cole 64, everybody.
And Dragon 1195.
And I'm Great, the emotional guy. Signing out. Let your emotion soar sky high, and may the force be with you. Take care.
Yes, with us all.
Take care. Peace out. Peace out.
Peace out.